Well, hello there, and welcome to the Computer Game Show. My name is David Turner. I'm here with Sean Bell,
Hello.
Matt Murray,
It is coming home.
and I should warn you, James Farley's here, and he's got a whole new setup because he's back in the UK for a few nights, so his mic might sound a little bit different this week. Hello, James.
Hello there, David.
That's
Hang on.
Away from the mic there, James. Away from the mic, my friend. Let's move back. You all right?
Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, I'm good.
It's good to be back. Good to be
Yeah,
back,
yeah.
is it?
It's really
Back in
nice to
Blighty.
be back. Yeah,
Does it feel like being in a nation that's still in the World Cup? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
oh,
How's
it does.
feel?
Yeah, it's
Is it
wonderful.
buzzing?
Yeah,
Good.
I'm looking forward to going back, and then hopefully more wins, and then I'm going to make a big racket where I live when we start.
A big racket.
Yeah.
What's that going to entail?
Do you know what? I would love to interview your neighbours and just find out what they think of you. What do you think of that English
Almost
man that lives?
nothing at all because we barely talk. So it's
Really? I
yeah.
bet they've got feelings.
Bonus pod?
We'd like to start. We'd like to start the show by thanking our Patreon producers this month. They are. Excuse me, I have not slept. Aaron Patrick, the QuickBooks chap. Simon Nelson, Moomin Biscuit, Trans Rights are Human Rights. Dave Ernsberger, Colin Brown, Gasman, Rocketman76, Smooth Monkey, John Tempelli, Jackie Sniper, Sam Higton, Thomas, Stan, Philip with an F, Cutty, Steve Lee, Jack Oven, Grey Dragon Claw, Colin the Carwanker Smith, Lee Keybottom, My Dog Skip, Dean, Evil Mammal, Conky Donkers, Full Nels Conga, Laser Quest, 42 Sources Span, Dr. Wookie, and Ramalaptar. They are the Full Nels crew. Thank you so much for supporting what we do. You keep us going, even on nights like tonight, where it's really hard to do that. I obviously, if we record on the Monday night, so this is the night after the England-Mexico game, I was in a pub overnight, and I got home at 5 o'clock this morning. I can't feel my eyeballs at this point. James is always tired, so no change there. Matt got slaughtered and missed the match, and Sean's just living the best life out of the four
Yeah,
of
I'm
us.
doing
Really,
good,
he's
thanks.
just he's doing.
I mean, to be
doing
fair, even if
all
this
right.
was otherwise a completely normal week, the video game industry is doing its absolute best to knock any enthusiasm out of us that it can. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah. I cannot quite believe this, everybody. I should say patreon.com/TCGS if you'd like to support the show. I don't think I plugged that. So please join our Patreon, please, because it really helps us out. By that, I mean it gives us a little bit more money. Please join our Patreon, because if you don't, we'll fucking stop. We will stop. So yeah, join us, patreon.com/TCGS. Doth my eyes deceive me? Well, whoever put this plug together is. I need to have a word with you, because you put quiz in all caps with Kurt Lewin has been delayed again. Where it's on our Discord, go to tcgs.co to join our Discord, but it's been delayed to July the 7th at 8 p.m.
Which is
Matt, you wrote this, did you?
Yes, because this is
You
the third
see
time it's
the
been
problem
delayed.
with this?
Yeah, I know
Okay.
that. This is for live viewers only, but we're I mean, this is literally the last time. This
Okay.
cannot go on. Three delays of this. 3 delays. You're bringing the brand into disrepute. You're diluting the brand, and frankly, I think you need
Okay.
to sort your life out.
But Kurt, Matt, maybe delay it again for a couple of days so that we can plug it before it happens rather than
Look.
after.
I mean, I agree. Actually, I think they should delay it a fourth time.
I mean,
Let's delay it a
it's
fourth
like
time. Or
it's
just
like our
cancel it
animal
entirely.
streams, isn't it?
Yeah,
So-
that will not be happening this week, but it will be happening sometime soon.
so
yeah,
basically
Reanimal.
the plug is you've still missed it, but on a different day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're watching us live or
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Twitch before the pod goes out on Tuesday, then why not go to our Discord for the often delayed but never not brilliant quiz by
if
Kurt Lewin?
it happens this time.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Do you reckon other gaming pods are this shit?
No. No.
Do you think other gaming pods are this well connected to their community, Dave? No,
Good
actually.
point. Got you there.
No, they're well connected to the fucking video game industry community, and
Yeah.
that's a problem.
Well, I know
That's
which one
a problem.
I prefer, Dave. The video game industry.
Feedback from last week's show. I'm assuming everyone thought it was bloody brilliant, did they?
They did. We're going to start off Span. Hello. Boring point about the Steam Deck price. Remember that they are literally just Linux PCs that can be used for anything. So selling them at a loss would likely result in a black market for people buying them to use as other things other than games machines. And that would only exacerbate stock problems and component cost issues. Also, Gabe wants another yacht.
Good
It's
point.
true. We said
Yeah,
the same thing about the Steam machine as well. Like if they sold it at a loss, then companies would just buy loads of them, to run stuff on.
But what I find interesting is that I've seen quite a few messages about our discussion on this. I don't think we were saying they should sell it at a loss. Were we?
We weren't,
Yeah,
no,
that's what we
but
were
other
saying.
people were.
We talked about reasons why they could maybe sell it at a loss, I think.
Yeah, with all the money they're
weren't
making,
specifically
etc.
saying they
etc.
should. I
And we
don't
didn't take this point into account, so I think it's. I don't think
Yeah,
it's
my
a gotcha.
point-
It's just.
No. My point around this was, and I'm not saying that's it from Span. It's the other stuff that I've seen on Discord and stuff. My point is always that there is a price that I'm willing to pay to do things. I'm not saying they should hit that price or,
sure.
why are they not hitting that price? I'm just saying that is my price. And when a fucking Steam machine is nearly $1,000, that's when you go, oh no, that's way over what I'm willing to do. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
yeah.
But just say, like, on this, I'm very sure Chris meant to say Steam machine price rather than Steam Deck price, but it's all the
So
same
in a
thing,
way,
isn't it?
we all make mistakes,
Oh.
don't we, Span? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Oh, when you're coming at us and having a go at us about our show, yeah.
We
Have a
made
look at
one
your
mistake
feedback.
over the course of 2 hours. You've made one
Yep.
in 2 sentences. So
Yeah.
I will remind
Yeah.
you that here's a Fallen Us member.
Do you know what? Don't worry about it.
It's a great email, and we love
It is,
Chris
it
Span
is.
for that. So
we,
make
we
no mistake.
understood. We understood what he meant.
Yeah,
so it's
we
fine.
understood,
did
and it's a
understand
great
what he
message. And more the same, please. I think is the answer there. Matt has messaged, thanks to the advice about buying the Switch 2 now or waiting for an Ocarina of Time special edition. I bought one 10 minutes after I finished listening to the pod. So there you go.
All right.
advertisers, get
Okay.
in touch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look
wanna
at the kind of
sell-
impact we can
You
make on
wanna
Switch
sell
2 stock.
One thing.
Although saying that,
we can
Sean,
get it done. Yeah.
someone did recently and we just didn't reply. So we're not great with advertisers. We're not great with advertisers. So sorry to that company for that. Next message.
Colin's got a great point here on the subject of games with numbers on. Colin, hey guys, Destiny 3 or Desti with a 3 at the end.
All right,
See,
Colin
that's good
is
because people call it. Well, I say
Desties.
people. I have
Some
called
people
it
might call them.
Desties in the past. So
Yeah.
You called it Desties.
I think.
Oh,
I have,
why
yeah.
would I judge you for that? Some of the things that we call games tights and all that.
Yeah, haven't you called
Yeah,
it
sorry.
like big dests in the past? I think. I'm sure you called it
I
big
think- no, I
dests
think
at some
usually-
point.
I think
Yeah.
Desto was the usual.
Big Dest energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that doesn't sound like me, Matt. I'll
It
take
doesn't.
that. Go on.
This is Mitch Robinson. Hi, Mitch Robinson here. A quick bit of feedback relating to Escape Academy. Sean said that Progress as a co-op partner didn't register. It definitely does work on PS5, as myself and James S, both got the platinum recently. Don't mean to be a dick, but I enjoyed the game and don't want to put people off, as that aspect of co-op games really gets on my nerves. Looking at you, Far Cry games. Cheers, lads.
Okay,
So that is good.
2 mistakes in 2 hours. I think it's still pretty good.
I like the fact that they said no. It's the nicest. It's one of the nicest bits of you. No, you did get this wrong. This is
Yeah, really
I just
fucking
want you to know that. And yet at the same time they're saying I don't mean to be a dick. You definitely weren't being a dick, Mitch.
No,
this is
100%.
exactly what this.
Yeah,
I
section's
mean,
about.
It's mad, isn't it? Because obviously people here, like obviously we've talked about times where people have sent in corrections or whatever, and they've been proper wankers about it. So then some people are like, no, I'm not having a go. I'm not having a go. But it's like, no, it's fine as long as you're basically polite. Don't worry about it. It's just some people are really fucking rude.
also getting a correction in on Sean is. I mean that is God's work.
It's
So
chef's
you
kiss.
crack on, Mitch.
Yeah.
Make
Yeah.
sure.
But look
Just
how
don't
well
worry
I've
about the
taken
mistakes
it,
we
Dave.
make.
Look how well.
Yeah, that is quite.
As
That
ever.
is quite different. Usually you get your back up, don't you?
I'm
And
working on myself.
When did it come in,
no,
though?
man, I'm proud of
Did
you.
it, was it earlier in the week? You had time to calm down. Like,
Kian has messaged, with Dr. Farley's high quality news reporting, I assume he'd already heard about this, but just in case, I'd like to suggest a news story of the ESA stupidly calling self-hosted game services piracy and a black market. Sort of related to Sony discontinuing, well, okay, that's a spoiler for the news, but discontinuing physical games. They are just complete idiots saying subscription-based models save consumers money, provide predictability, and allow for customized gameplay experiences. Yeah, I saw this. This is ridiculous.
It's so utterly out of touch, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
Because this is
Sorry,
for
who's the ESA?
it's the Entertainment Software Association or something. Isn't
That's the one, yeah.
it? Yeah.
took us a minute.
That was like one of those. That was like being in a meeting and your mind wandering, and someone going, "And what are the numbers there, James Farley?" Like, you go, oh, everyone's shitting themselves. I don't know. What do the ESA do? Does anyone know, or am I putting you? In
They
a
don't.
position where you have
They
to
don't
admit you know?
regulate the industry, but they're like, isn't it like a consortium of like all the companies and
They're
stuff
supposed
like
to be
that?
like an advocacy group.
Yeah,
Weren't they in charge of E3?
they were. Yeah,
Oh,
it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those fuckers.
Yeah.
Look what happened to that.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
wankers.
Yep.
The Simpsons simp has messaged. We're going to end on this one. Quick correction for last week. It was Reverend Lovejoy who said this sounds like rock and or roll, not Principal Skinner. Boy, I really hope someone got fired for that blunder.
Yeah, do you know it was very good. I thought that I was listening to the pod back the next day, and I just
Pod
went,
back?
"No, that's fucking Reverend Lovejoy." So I picked up on it myself. So actually, before you sent it in, I worked out myself. So.
You should send in feedback, David. That's
Myself, yeah, maybe I did.
more to us.
Maybe
Oh,
I
is this you?
Folio
Are you
saying
the
they said
Simpsons
it.
simp?
Did you follow saying they
yeah,
said it in the
maybe,
chat?
Oh,
missed it.
Digifolio said it. No one listened to
I
him.
don't read the
Same.
chat because Sean tends to forget to put it in.
Yeah, none of us read it. We can't. We wish we could. We can't. We simply can't. That is it for feedback. Go to tcgs.co to leave your polite feedback, even if it is, correct. You can be a dick. You don't have to. You can do what you want.
James, right? Don't get angry at the kid. Your pocket, right? Just explain for the people listening. James is hold on. James is on cat, and he's had to set up in. He's in the UK at the moment, and he's had to set up
In
a
the
new
Kent
webcam,
area.
and he's shooting, and he in the background. Asher just walked past, and James looks fucking disgusted with the lad.
It's because right before we started, I said, "Do you need anything down here? Is there anything you need?" And he's like, "No, don't need anything at all." And then, just as we're about to start the news, he comes crashing through the door and then comes down here, and he's just like wants to get
I love
something.
the fact that you're gonna have to sit him down and go. You don't know how important my news stories are.
Daddy was in his
Pressure I am
podcast
under.
studio.
It's a big news week as well.
It's a big week.
I'm sorry, you wanted hydrating in this. Well, fuck you. There's the news to be
Could have
read.
done that half an hour ago. That is all I'm saying.
Yeah,
Let's
I
slide
will
viral.
say, in James's defence, like I've had situations here where like I've been like, right, I'm going to be on at this time, so like if there's anything you need to do, like get it done, and then 2 minutes in, and he'll be like, "Oh, is it alright if I go through now?" I'm like, "What? What do you want me to say to that?"
I'm
like,
working.
No, but I'd be a wanker for saying no. So
James Farley looked like that dude in lockdown that was on the news.
Yeah.
With the kid
kids in the
that walks
background,
in. Right. That's it for the feedback, is it, Matt?
It is.
Good. Then let's get to the news, James. If one of your kids doesn't fucking know what I mean.
It's likely to happen. But anyway, yeah, I mean, the news that we've all been not looking forward to over the last 2 weeks or so is Xbox have finally revealed what they're doing in terms of their big reset. The upshot being that they're laying off 3,200 staff and they're divesting of 5 studios. So 20% of the whole Xbox organisation is going to be gone, and 1,600 roles are being eliminated today, like right now. And there's been, I mean, since we've been recording, there's been like more things that have come in. Like apparently, id Software is losing, I think they said 95 people.
I was going to say because so at first glance, I think I sort of assumed those 3,200 people were from those 5 studios, and I thought actually no, it doesn't add up at all. Yeah, it's across the whole lot, isn't it? So that, yeah, I've seen like loads of people from Obsidian saying they've been laid off, and yeah, grim.
It's crap. And so they're also divesting like 5 internal studios. So Compulsion Games, Double Fine, Ninja Theory, Undead Labs, and apparently Arcane as well. But that's something which is an ongoing situation, which we'll get to in a second, because that's all because of French labour laws that are preventing them from just sort of doing that. So what's happening is that Compulsion Games and Double Fine are being spun out now as independent studios. So they're just going to become independent again, and they get to keep their IP and like the catalogue and everything. And they're also being given what's called a runway for their next games. So presumably this is like a payoff, right?
Yeah,
like
some funding to help them start again, I think.
That. And then Ninja Theory and Undead Labs are apparently entering into terms for a new ownership. Somebody else is going to pick them up, and they'll continue, working on Senua and State of Decay 3. Mm-hmm. But then also, obviously, there's reductions being made in other places like Activision, Bethesda, ZeniMax, Blizzard, King, Mojang, and also Xbox Game Studios in general. But so far, no publicly announced first-party games are being cancelled related to this. And Mojang is it Mojang or Mojang? I'm never sure.
Mojang. For years I was like, actually, it's Mojang. No, it's Mojang.
So Mojang and King, who have been
and I'm fine with that, Dave.
You sound really fine about that.
It's fucking weird how you can read my mind at this point. Yeah.
So they're being brought like closer into the Xbox games system, and they're going to be reporting to Sharma directly. Also, the Xbox corporate VP of product services, Dave McCarthy, who's been there for 8 years, has now left, and Helen Chung, who was overseeing Minecraft, has now been put in charge, and this is a newly created role of Xbox COO, which is the presumably chief of operating operations. What would that
Chief
be?
Operating Officer.
Yeah, chief operating officer. Yeah, and they said this is significant because before there was lots of different parts of Xbox that were kind of not independent, but that were sort of working sort of semi-autonomously, whereas now this is all going to be significantly more centralized, it seems, under this system. I've got a quote from Asha Sharma because she put out a whole thing, another one of those emails about what's going on. I don't want to read the whole thing because it made me really angry reading it, so I'm just going to read a little few bits here. She said, since 2018 we have aggressively expanded our studio portfolio, while the number of games created each month across the industry now outpaces the last 10 years combined. We now find ourselves competing not only with the largest publishers but also with smaller independent studios. It is neither possible nor desirable to own every great independent studio. We have also learned that we are not the best home for every type of studio. In a typical year, we lost 64 cents for every dollar we invested. As we reset Xbox, we will help independent creators succeed by providing open development tools and audiences to realise their vision. And so she also said, I want Xbox to be one of the few companies that entertains more than 1 billion people each day and gives everyone the opportunity to create and connect. I know we can achieve this goal. Xbox, all capitals, has many of the most beloved franchises in entertainment history, talented studios around the world, and we will return to growth in 2027. At the moment we don't fully know at the time of recording how this is impacting all the areas of Xbox, because obviously these numbers are, this is what's going on right now. But then with 1,600 roles going now, how many is that left? There's 1,800, I think it is, that are going to go over the remainder of this year. So until the end,
who's left has got that hanging over them.
Yeah. So for the rest of the year, there's another 1,800 people are going to be got rid of as well. But we don't know who they are or how this is going to pan out. So that's it. I mean, so far. Although we don't obviously know where they're going to go next with all of this. And, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, lots of shit in that statement. One of which they said, no publicly announced first-party games are being cancelled.
Yeah.
I mean, we've heard a lot about the Blade game. I'm sure Jason Schreier said it, about it's been development hell and over budget and all that kind of stuff. I mean, assuming that is still going ahead is a good thing. I think them cancelling that kind of IP would be crazy, but they've done it before, so
yeah.
Who knows? And getting 1 billion players across Xbox just feels wasn't the right time to be saying that kind of stuff. Or who?
I mean,
that's not for us.
Insane.
Who cares? That's an internal KPI. We don't need to know about that bollocks. Yeah.
So this, I was just looking it up because I just saw it earlier, and it makes sort of really highlights how insane that goal is. So this is PC Gamer ran an article about it, and the headline is Xbox's CEO wants its games to cater to, quote, more than 1 billion people each day, or 24 times more than the peak population of Steam, which is delusional.
Yeah, that is ridiculous.
Yeah. Absolutely fucking absurd.
Well, also, if you compare it even to social networks or whatever, like it's and social networks are not asking you to pay like £20 a month or whatever to like access them. There's no way. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
It seems like an unachievable goal that's going to ultimately lead to more people being lost in the games industry because they can't achieve this unachievable goal.
They must know that's unachievable, though. I mean, that's not.
Well, we've said that about a lot of things, though, isn't it? Like they must know a lot of things, and it's
Yeah,
like
I know, James, but this is like fucking. They're not sitting there thinking we can get 1 billion people playing Xbox.
Phil Spencer was sitting there saying that Xbox Game Pass was profitable. He lied, obviously, about that, it seems.
Right,
and that also they
that's
could get...
different, though, isn't it? I'm just saying, like, I mean, it's a fucking weird thing to say, other than, hey, it was like we spoke about this last week when, I can't remember who it was announcing that they were downsizing and people were being let go and everything. Was it Bungie? It was when Bungie put their statement out there. And you're looking at this and you're going, this is the usual announcement of horrible things, but winking at investors, and all that. I don't know if investors are involved in the world of Xbox or I don't know how it works, right? But it is that kind of, hey, but we've still got high hopes for our brand.
It's shareholders, isn't it? That's what it's for.
It's sickening, really. It sucks. I was like,
but
I don't think they honestly, realistically think they're going to try and hit 1 billion players or whatever it is.
Some people engaging with Xbox. Does that mean just downloading,
turning on a PC?
Yeah,
they could probably,
or just like playing, Candy Crush or whatever some of the king franchises are for a day, or
it's kind of like, do you remember when the government said that they were going to achieve, like, I can't remember what the number was, like 500,000 tests a day, and they went, we're going to do 500,000 tests a day, or submitted, or thought about, or looked in,
or looked at,
actually
about.
Anyone that says the word test
that counts.
That'll count. Do you know what I mean? Look, this is I know this is tough and to hear on this podcast. This podcast is quite a happy-go-lucky pod, and it seems that every week
we've tried.
We're talking about these stories. We won't stop talking about these stories. It's part of the industry we love. I'm also aware that we're really down on the industry at the moment. And when I hear stories like this week after week after week, there is a reason. We're not being the sort of, everything's shit. It's just when you're hearing. I was chatting to someone about. I don't want to talk about who it was, but I was chatting to someone about this sort of stuff on social media, and I was just saying, this is the industry we love. We want it to flourish, and we want it to, because I think when an industry like this flourishes, then you will see what it can achieve.
Yeah,
like you can
the best of it.
The art that comes out, you see the best of it. And that's not to put down in the indie side of things. You all know how much we love indie games, and I'm sure that there will be some incredible indie games out over the next 5 years. But when you're looking at this side of the business, you want it to flourish, because then it benefits everyone that loves it. And I think there are
it shouldn't be down to indies. Do you know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't be their responsibility to keep things interesting.
These things are called, they're called platform holders for a reason. They're they're the ones that are, in control of quite a lot, as things go on. And I would say the last 10 years of like Xbox in particular with this has been a fucking disaster. Like it's caused damage beyond Xbox as well. I think like a lot of the decisions that have been made and the things that have happened.
This sort of stuff will scare shareholders or potential investors in other companies and other investors if they all they hear is doom and gloom and this these decisions, and that will make anyone who might want to invest in gaming like, oh, maybe, you know, if Microsoft with all their billions can't get us right, what hope have we got? You know, so it's gonna send shockwaves and people's careers and livelihoods and down the drain. Like the amount of people have left gaming because they've been let go and they're like, look, it's just too scary to be in gaming. I'm gonna find another kind of, you know, applicable job with my programming skills or artist skills, but it's not in gaming because it's just on fire the whole time. And we've lost so much talent and all that kind of knowledge is gone. We've had had it in VR with like, you know, teams get let go and all that's just that going on. Knowledge is gone with having it here with gaming. And then you got 1,600 or 1,800 people who are now waiting another year to hope or not sure what their future's like because they may be gone at any point over next year as well. It's just it's horrific. I mean, you do have lots of survivor's guilt if you stay in the studio and like all your friends and co-workers go. So it's a mixture between survivor's guilt and then like, okay, thank God I got a job, and now when I'm freaking out I might lose my job. It's like it must be unbearable. And it's just, I mean, obviously I thought with all the people losing their jobs today and have done the last few years and will do in the next 12 months. It's just incredibly sad. I
think what I'm trying to say though is that it's not just this story at the moment, and that's why the tone of the pod around when we're talking about the industry is so low, because it's not just this story. It's also, you know, the use of AI, the downsizing of studios, the insane amount of cost involved around, you know, being a part of the cutting edge of the medium we love. It's getting so anti-consumer that you and what's going on with the studios that we love as well, it just puts you in a really low mood. Like it's putting me in a really low mood at the moment thinking about this, because this is the one thing that I love doing with my spare time. And when I look at what's going on, it's just like fuck me.
Because of the way the industry is currently weighted towards, you know, Sony and Microsoft, to an extent, Nintendo as well. I mean, they kind of just always do their own thing no matter what. But it's like there's an element of like stewardship to what Microsoft and Sony do, right? Of the hobby at large, especially
they are
in the
platform holders. You know, that's the thing.
Exactly. And like obviously, yes, there's indies, there's Steam, etc. But to most people, like consoles are the main way to play stuff currently, and maybe we'll see a shift in that over the next sort of 10, 20 years. Who knows? But yeah, it just feels like they don't. I mean, we'll talk about Sony in a bit, but it just feels like they do not take that duty seriously in any sort of way now.
And I think one of the biggest problems.
Right, who knows?
One of the biggest problems I think that there is now with this is that Microsoft came into this and Sony came into this obviously to make lots of money and to sort of grow. Yeah, they always talk about growth. Yeah, they want to grow. They want to grow. You know, there needs to be more players, all that kind of stuff. But I think we kind of I feel that there's probably a cap, probably of about 100 million, 130 million tops, people that will buy consoles and play games, and it's not going to go above that. I don't think. I don't think it's not.
I think we've sort of hit that, haven't we? And I think
and the problem is that the plans that they had and the things that they wanted to do were clearly designed for significantly more people than that I don't think they're ever going to be able to hit, because I just can't, especially with the price of consoles going up and all that kind of thing.
That's the thing. I don't believe we have hit the peak, but then right now, I think I will assume fewer people than ever will be wanting to get into it when consoles are costing 800 quid. I mean, I know like Switch is a lot cheaper, but like I don't think 150 million is the cap at all. I think with developing markets and new countries, but
those developing markets don't buy consoles.
I was going to say
it's PC. It's on PC.
GamesIndustry.biz published some stats a while back. Then it was like all the actual highest grossing or most downloaded games are mobile stuff you've never heard of,
right?
Or we've never heard of. So that's that's your emerging market.
I was saying, but with consoles being like they are now, I mean, surely this is ultimately going to have a massive negative effect on the industry as well. I mean, who knows where we'll be in 5 to 10 years time? But right now, it just feels like just
are
not a good place to be.
Reaching a point where consoles as a means of playing games are on the way out?
I don't think so. And the reason I still don't think that's true is because people say, like, I've read a lot today of like people saying, I'm going PC now and that kind of thing. I'm just going to go to PC. But PCs are also pretty expensive now.
Yeah,
and they'll never be, Steam OS, great. Steam Deck, great. Steam Machine, presumably also pretty good. But they will never be as convenient and that is still a big factor for so many people, and rightfully so.
Yeah. For the person who just wants to play like, EA Sports FC or whatever, or they just want to play like Fortnite and stuff like that, why they're not gonna do? I mean, you can't even play those. Well, you can't play like FIFA and stuff on PC. Like, it's not even on there, is it? And so it's like, I don't think so. It's ever released on that, and those people still want boxes, I think, to play that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think that's
And
gonna
even
change.
SteamOS doesn't allow that, like things like, I'm pretty sure it's Roblox or Fortnite because of anti-cheat measures. So some of the biggest games on the planet can't even be played on this new OS that Valve are creating to, well, obviously they're making money, but to make it a bit more open. They announced also on the day that the reviews went live for Steam Machine, or the pre-order purchase day, that any machines with certain specs can install SteamOS, and maybe there'll be other alternative Steam machines. But regardless, in terms of consoles, we're in a dire state. I mean, like, will there be a video game crash like we had in like the 80s? I mean, what's it going to take?
That's what I think.
Games are getting.
Me.
I mean, the budgets for games are getting ridiculous because just because they are, like games are costing so much more to develop, and game development time is taking so much longer. It's just something's gonna have to change. Like, consoles are way more expensive. Games are increasing in price, although maybe not to the same level as I guess. I think I saw read something the other day about actually games should actually be 150 quid based on like the progress and the cost of them, blah blah, this that and the other. But yeah, consoles are expensive. Games are taking longer to make. The development budgets are going crazy. I mean, like, something's going to have to change. I'm not sure what.
Well, this is what I find really. And James trying to jump in to say, EA FC is on PC. I got that, Rob, before you. He was just about to jump in and do that. I was saying, no, I did find that very funny. Like, and obviously, this is a very simplistic thing to say. But someone showed, I think I might have mentioned it on the podcast actually, that someone showed a video of First Light, 007 First Light, and they showed James Bond in the rain, and they showed water trickle off of his hair onto his face and roll down his face onto me. And then like it was real zoomed in to show the detail involved. And I went to the comments and went, look, we don't need this. Just stop.
No one's asking for this.
We don't need any of that.
Like, that's very nice, but stop it. Like,
because you're killing the gaming industry for fucking, which I get. But then that's also a bit reductive because there are games that don't have that level of detail that are flying over budget anyway.
And this is it. Like, do you think we're just going to see a shift to people just being like, games are just not going to look that good anymore, and that's fine. Like, there are already markets, but we talked about. Like there's still a version of the Master System being sold in South America and stuff. Like,
there is that,
Is that just going to,
but
not to that extent, but worldwide, it's just going to be like, we reached a certain point and now that's it.
Visually, see, this is why I still think that Nintendo are going to still come out of this probably the best because they haven't chased any of that, and people seem pretty happy with what they're putting out at the moment.
They have still made layoffs, just not to the same extent.
Yeah, no,
I think because I know there's always this unease around. Everyone's like, Nintendo don't lay people off. They, remember Iwata took a salary cut, blah blah. It's like, it was because labor laws are very different in Japan.
But they haven't laid off 20% of their company.
No,
over this time.
Yeah.
But
there were elements of this that when I first saw it, I was like, do you know what? That could be worse. I'm looking particularly at, Compulsion Games and Double Fine being spun off as independent studios with a bit of runway funding. But then I was like, is it that bit at the end of Batman Begins? Have you all seen it?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, fucking years ago.
I was going to say spoilers coming for Batman Begins. But, at the end, he's like, oh, well, I'm not going to kill you, but I don't have to save you either, and then lets the bad guy die. Is it that? Is that what Microsoft are doing?
See, this is the thing that has irritated me a bit actually with reading this, because I think I'm glad. Like, I think it's great that these are being spun off so they can be independent again. That's really good. This is a good thing. And to me, it feels like this is an easy PR win for Xbox to do this because rather than shut them down. But on the other hand, I'd be worried about what's going to happen to them in the long term if they don't get further investment.
Yeah, like, not to defend Microsoft, but I do think those studios will struggle without Microsoft bankrolling.
Yeah, if Double Fine were making money hand over fist, they wouldn't have been cut loose.
No.
Yeah.
Well, they wouldn't have been
Right.
bought in the first
It's-
place, right? Because they've just been
But-
like, well, no, we don't need anyone
yeah,
to buy
But
us.
just
We're
on
fine.
the
Yeah,
other side, no, go on, James. You want to jump in?
But it's also like the key thing is that as when they've been part of Microsoft and they were part of the whole Game Pass extravaganza and everything, there's no way that they weren't staffing up as well, like getting more people,
Mm-hmm.
you know, working for them, becoming bigger studios and stuff like that to support that. Then, you know, now they won't have the cash presumably to be able to support that. So people are still going to lose their jobs, which is awful. I mean, it's good that they're still going to remain, but it's will they remain long term is the thing. You know, if Microsoft didn't want them because they weren't making money, as David said, then you know how are they going to be able to get fresh
Exactly,
investment?
and by the time that happens, you can't be mad at Microsoft, right? Because they
Yeah.
went, hey, we gave them some money and we let them do that. So,
But
if
I
it's
think there
like
might
they-
also
it's
be a
like-
renewed focus. Like I say, Double Fine. Like they, I mean, I obviously don't know. I don't work there. Don't know anyone who does work there. But maybe they, the whole strategy with Game Pass was just get stuff out, experiment. They had the Microsoft protection, the Microsoft money. Now on their own, I'm like, okay, let's just make the games that we know we want to make and we know are good and that play to our strengths. And
they
we
did
have
that.
a renewed.
Well, they have been doing that.
They've been doing
That's the
that
thing,
when
yeah.
they've
Well, yeah, but like them making a multiplayer game like Kill doesn't feel like. I mean. Doesn't feel like a Double Fine experience.
I-
Maybe it's like, oh yeah,
yeah.
we can experiment, we can do it. We can almost, in some ways, do what we want. We've got the Microsoft money and protection. I feel like actually
Yeah, but you
now,
think
just
about
do
what
Wait,
what
hold on,
you're
hold
good
on.
at.
Just on Kiln, like I genuinely like, I might be reading into this too much, but game makes more sense to me now. As if they went, you need to start making money. You need to bring something out soon, otherwise they could see the writing on the wall. So
Maybe,
I
yeah.
have a feeling Kiln was a holy shit. We need to bring something out
Get
soon,
anything
otherwise
out,
we're
yeah.
going to be shuttered. That's the feeling I got. I could be wild, like I could be just completely making that up. But when all this news come out, I just thought, I wonder if the move to do these smaller games at a really quick pace was a way of them trying to save themselves. But I don't know.
See, and the thing I'd be worried about with them is like you think about what happened with Psychonauts 2. Like that was, you know, if Microsoft hadn't invested right at the end, that may not even have happened.
Yeah.
As far as
Or it
you
would
know,
have been worse at the very least. Like,
yeah. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
no doubt the money probably helped some of the studios stay alive longer than they would have done without it. But
But they're going to. I mean,
let's hope they can find a new lease of life and a renewed focus now they're separate from Microsoft.
but you know, presumably a lot of these studios are going to need further investment. Like they're going to be looking for either being bought by other people or you know at least you know some sort of financial investment. But now is not a good time for that. I mean, there's no Embracer Group around at the moment that's just going around buying everybody. You know,
No.
and it's it's bad. I mean, as I said, I think it's good that they're being given the chance, but also I think it's a bit It's a
I
bit
think
scary.
like anyone who's paid attention, any attention to video games in the last year, will know it's fucking tough out there. So
Yeah.
have they really done them a favor long term? Probably
Mm-hmm.
not. But obviously it is better than just closing them. It's
Yeah.
better than cutting them loose and not letting them
Yes.
keep the games. It's better than not giving them the money.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, there are mitigating factors there, but I am still worried about them, and they'll be worried about themselves now. For
Yeah.
the next
Yeah,
who
definitely.
knows how long? Like it's
Okay.
But yeah, I wonder where Xbox will be in like 5 years' time.
if anywhere at all.
I mean, the only thing that I find strange is that I genuinely thought that Xbox were moving away from being a platform holder at all and becoming a publisher. Like, I genuinely thought they were moving away from that. And so I am surprised that they're trying to make moves to keep the Xbox thing a thing, if that makes sense. How legitimate it is, I don't know. But that, I think, I'm surprised by that. So in terms of where they are in 5 years' time, I'm slightly more convinced that they will still be a platform holder trying to push new tech onto us. Whereas initially I thought they would probably be gone, wouldn't release another Xbox and then get into the whole, a PC's an Xbox really. So that's
Yeah,
all we
I'm
need to
so
worry about.
convinced. I'm so convinced that Helix will just be a standard console. I think they're going to scrap all the open. It's basically a PC. It's going to have other stores in it. I think they'll just go back to basics. I'm so
Yeah,
convinced.
do that? I think you're right. I think you're right. They probably are going to do that, but that hasn't worked like repeatedly, and it also, they're coming into this off a wave of like negativity and stuff like that, and also high prices. None of this makes any sense at all. What's going on? I mean,
No.
I would say
Well,
in
releasing new
5 years'
consoles doesn't
time.
make sense.
I mean, in 5 years' time, I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft no longer own Xbox, somebody else does. If they try and sell it off,
Yeah, because there was talk about them spinning off into its own company with its own kind of profit and loss margins, or its own things. But I mean, which that kind of also makes sense. I mean, YouTube is separate to Alphabet, who the parent company. So I can see that happening. But
I mean, Microsoft have got a long history of just shutting down consumer stuff. They just eventually they just cut their losses and like, we're not doing this anymore. And I could really see them trying to sell it off, like maybe hoping that like Amazon or someone like that will buy them. As like we've got a brand here, you can buy it, and because they're terrible at consumer stuff, like they're really bad at it, and it's so maybe that will happen.
But we do need Xbox to be doing well. We need another competitor to Sony. We need all of them.
I think we're kind of beyond that with Xbox now. Yeah.
So Matt, you setting up the next news story, Matt? Is that what you're doing there?
Go on, then.
So the next story that we have, which was, this was the big thing that people were talking about a lot prior to the Xbox stuff, was that Sony have announced that they're no longer going to be producing discs for PlayStation games from January 2028. And they're saying this is because of consumer preferences as the reason why. So this is what they said. They said, as consumer preferences and the broader entertainment industry continue to shift away from physical discs to digital, physical game disc production for all new games releasing on PlayStation consoles will be discontinued from January 2028. Following this date, new games will be available on PlayStation Store and at retailers in digital formats only. So yeah, it's basically you'll still be able to buy the games in store, but it'll be like a code in the box, presumably is all it'll be for download. And a lot of people have got thoughts on this, and yeah, it's because a lot of people are very angry that they're getting rid of physical media.
What do you think, James? Are they right? Are they right to be angry?
Yeah, I think they are actually. I've got mixed feelings. Not really mixed feelings about this because I personally haven't bought any physical discs for ages. Like I don't really do that, but I do also appreciate.
Nintendo.
Yeah, even them I don't read so much nowadays. But in general, though, I do feel that this is not a great move, and that it's this move towards us not owning things anymore. That's the thing that bothers me about it.
But hang on, did we ever own a disc? We never even owned a disc. The disc was a license,
no,
etc.
Skim past this basic ass discourse that's been going on the internet. Yes, we don't own it, but and the item on the disc isn't these days isn't the game that you play, because usually you have to download updates like day one and all of that sort of stuff. We get all that. I think that's the lesser of the arguments. I think I want the disc because I want to have the disc, right? I understand that, but the thing that I'm worried about is the second-hand market.
Yes, exactly.
Gone.
The second-hand market's gone, or will be gone. The lending a game to your mate, and maybe I am being Mr. fucking 42-year-old man that's thinking about when he was in the playground as a kid, because I've got 2 kids that are into video games and they don't swap games with their mates.
I was gonna say,
that doesn't really happen anymore. But the idea of having that is the fact that that's gone is concerning to me.
Yeah,
I think the fact that you can't walk into a shop that sells second-hand games and look with you, and go, I might give that a go or whatever, and it's a fraction of the price. Or if you buy the game and then sell it on, I think it's a big part of what was part of my gaming life just gone. But then a part of me also goes, is this a way to stop the mass rise in video game prices? Is this a way to fight off the fact that games could be over 150 quid every time they release one?
I mean, maybe.
I'd hope so.
I think it's important not to see that as them doing us a favour.
Yeah.
Oh God, no. That's and certainly not what I'm saying. It's a very, very complex issue, but one that I just think ultimately is anti-consumer. It's a something I don't even know if you would describe it as a right or not, but having something physically that represents the license to play the game, as people say.
See, if they'd announced that they were doing this And then they said, but also we're implementing a whole bunch of things, in terms of like digital ownership and the way that maybe you can sell games on. There'll be a way to do that, or there'll be a way to like trade with people, like for limited time. Because you can do that on Switch. Like you can, where you can like lend people stuff for for a period of time and stuff like that. I think people would have been less annoyed, but still, I don't think whatever they do with this though, people are going to be angry because this is another example of things being taken out of our hands. And
well, this is it, isn't it? Because obviously this comes off the back of the other week they just removed a shitload of films from the PlayStation Store, and that included people who've bought them no longer have access to them. Because I know we've had situations in games before where a game's been delisted. Usually, it's often happens with racing games because of licenses for the cars or
soundtrack
or music game,
licenses for music and stuff. But as far as I'm aware, usually it's like, well, if you've already bought it, you can still download it. Not gonna position the mic here next week. I've whacked it about 3 times already. Whereas this was like, oh no, even if you bought it, you don't have it anymore. And it's like, well, if you are willing to do that with films, we have to assume that can happen with games as well. And that's before you get into servers being turned off permanently and making games unusable and stuff. That's a whole other thing. Sorry, James, go on.
And that's the thing. It should be that even like with the films, it should be that we're not going to sell these anymore. We've lost the license or whatever, but you can still download them or whatever. You can still because you own them. You've bought the license for this.
Which is
and
it's still bad from like a preservation point of view. That stuff should be accessible forever. I mean, and this is the other thing is because when it comes to this stuff, I will advocate for piracy, and people might fucking be like, but most people just like stealing shit. It's like, well, fine, but you should then be like, your position should then be, well, don't the platform holders should not be muddying the waters by creating a legitimate argument for like, if you don't want me to say, well, piracy is going to be the only way to preserve this stuff long term, then don't create the fucking situation where that's true. Do you know what I mean? Like,
can I bring up an interesting point that sort of hit me? Because when this was announced, I was like, this is shit. This is shit, and I still think it's shit. By the way, like I honestly, I'm just interested to hear what you've got to say for this because I was going, no, this is crap. This is crap, and then I saw something online, and I went, oh yeah, I didn't really have an answer for it, and that thing was, this happened in PC gaming a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is the difference here compared to when it happened? Because generally gamers are like, no, it's a good thing. Steam is a good store and people support with Steam, but obviously that has brought an end of physical video games to the PC market.
Yeah,
what's the difference?
I think the two things there are that, yes, so far, touch wood, Steam have been relatively pretty good around this stuff. They often they offer refunds if you play something and it doesn't work, and a lot of sort of consumer friendly moves. But then equally, you don't have to use Steam, right? If they start being pricks, anyone else can make a new store and you could theoretically move over to it, like the Epic Store, for example. I think obviously it's not that simple because the Steam is so embedded at this point.
It's where your library is, right?
Yeah,
so
and they could
if you suddenly decide
on people. I mean, I suppose perhaps within that you could then say, but because of the way Steam works, if someone else created a store, like we've seen with like the Xbox stuff, right? So if you open the Xbox app, without you even fucking asking it to, it'll be like, hey, here's all your Steam games as well, right? So I suppose you could say, well, the library can, as long as somewhere it is logging in and going, these are your details for your Steam account, that sort of library can appear in like a different store. So that functionality is there. Again, maybe Steam or Valve could break that if they wanted. But yeah, crucially, you have choice, whether it's whereas with practical, real choice, or whether it's actually you are basically locked into Steam. I think is debatable. But yeah, I think that's a big factor.
But there's a lot of games which only come out on Steam, right?
Yeah, quite a lot. I think there's. I don't think they enforce any. There's no sort of exclusivity. So a lot of things that are on Steam are also on itch. Itch is obviously great. I think the day-to-day, the experience of actually using it. I would never want like my main library there because I think it's too hard to navigate and stuff. But it exists and people use it, and I think devs would probably rather you did.
Yeah, like I saw a lot of people saying to counter that, yeah, but there are loads of like sales on Steam, and there's you can get games quite cheap on there, and there is part of me that goes, right, so are we saying that this is okay that Sony do it then if they do the odd sale at a decent price? I don't really get that. I just think people like
there's sales all the time on
there's sales
consoles.
all the time on Xbox. There's sales all the time on PlayStation. Like it's
on
not
Switch, yeah.
And Steam sales are not what they used to be. I mean, they're still pretty good, but it's the days of oh my god, everything's £3 is long gone. Like,
I mean, do you think they'll ever implement a thing where you can sell digital games and maybe Sony gets a cut of that? Because would it not make sense in some ways? Yeah, you can sell your stuff, but obviously, you're selling it for £6, you get £5, and PlayStation gets £1 or whatever it is. Like, they could implement that. There's obviously reasons why they haven't, but maybe
because they'll lose money. Yeah, they'll lose money on the sale.
The closest thing you're going to get is if they allow you to like lend games or something like that. I think that's a possibility. Something they could do something like that, like Nintendo do. But I don't think they'd ever allow sales. Like
it makes no sense to them.
Xbox has like the game. You can share your library and stuff. Is that like their like way of doing this? I mean,
well, but let me ask you this: why would you ever buy a game like a full price game on the Sony store if you can buy it digitally for a lower price off of some guy in Slough? It doesn't make much sense, does it? I think like I would be more comfortable with this. I don't think I'll ever be comfortable with this. I think it is shitty that they stopped letting third-party stores sell codes for their games. I think that was really shitty in the first place, and that is even shitter now that they've what's happened with them saying that they're stopping the physical media. I think this is another fucking shit story in a world of shit gaming stories. I'm not a happy bunny. I'm not a happy bunny at the moment, Sean.
Something else about this is if anybody thinks that the next Xbox is going to have a disk drive and they're not going to do exactly the same thing,
of course not. Yeah,
mad.
But I mean, from the numbers, it does make sense. Yeah, like none of us buy physical games anymore. I can see why they're doing it. It's just shit for the industry, for the hobby. But I can see why they're doing it. Just because no one. Yeah, I mean,
it's more control. It's all of this is more control, and it's crap. And
you can like 100%. We're partly culpable.
Yeah, it's no surprise because we all buy digital. I mean, I don't think. I mean, Nintendo. I'm more likely to think, oh, could I get it on a Nintendo cart because the resale value will be good. But on Xbox and PlayStation, I just don't think about it. I'll just go to loader.com, get the cheaper credit, and then buy it on the store. That's just what I do now. I don't think about buying discs and which is I guess I'm part of the reason. But loads of people are doing that. So this is not a surprise. It's just it's always going to happen.
And we should say as well, like it's disingenuous to be like, here's all the problems with like digital ownership or ownership in inverted commas, because there have been loads of like plus points. Like the indie scene would not have thrived the way it did without Steam, without Xbox Live Arcade, etc. There have been pluses to this, but. Yeah, overall, we didn't know what it was going to cost us. Do you know what I mean?
All right, should we move on to something a bit nicer?
Yes, please.
Which is potentially nicer. I mean, it's not confirmed or anything yet, but there's been a rating for a game called Metroid Ravenous that has been spotted but then quickly removed. So this is from the Brazilian Ministry of Justice and Public Security, and they listed a new game that was called Metroid Ravenous that was supposed to be coming out. So the interesting thing about this is maybe possible because Mercury Steam worked on Metroid Dread, and the speculation with this is this could be another 2.5D Metroid game, which you would imagine it would be.
Yes, please. I love Dread so much.
And so Mercury Steam announced in 2023 that they were working on what were called 2 large undisclosed titles. One of those we now know is a fancy title that was Blades of Fire, but the other one hasn't yet been revealed what that is. Now, Dread did pretty well, I think, from what I heard, and so hopefully that's what this is going to be, and it actually will be another Metroid, and that would be really nice. If
Yes,
we get
I
one
love
of
that.
those.
And let's hope they never think about 3D again.
Yeah, just stick with the what we had.
Just
Dread was
stick
great.
with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep bringing these out. Lovely old job. Okay.
And so, yeah, and the last bit of news I got is, I don't know if you know, but there was Mario Kart World. I've added 2 new knockout tours, and there's more to come. So they've added, there's the Drill Rally Tour and the Boomerang Rally. And so they cover various parts of the map. There's no actual new content as such. It's just a new rally. But
I know it's not this simple, but that is just someone going like, okay, how about from here to here instead?
basically, yes. And Sean, they're going to be doing that.
Yeah.
How many times there's I think there's another 8 of these to come. So they're going to be mixing and matching presumably all of these, which is going to be good. But yeah, hopefully maybe we'll see some more stuff. That would be
I mean,
nice.
it's mad that you can't just do that completely freeform.
Yeah.
Like I know there's
like create your own
tracks
tour.
Like I know there's some tracks that wouldn't work with, but they could definitely make it a lot more open.
Imagine if you could do that. If you could do like the 24-hour race thing. Where you're basically just
like a
driving for
full
24 hours, and you
lap of
just
the whole
just do the entire game,
that
multiple
ending
circuits.
with Rainbow Road.
Yeah.
Yeah, but imagine getting a blue shell at the end of that.
Oh God.
You were first, and then you that absolutely kill you, isn't it?
That would suck.
But
yeah, at least something's happening. It seems.
yeah, but it was one of those though. When they released this game a year ago, and we all thought, well, this looks totally set up for just constant content.
It's a
They're going to
platform.
be pummeling.
It's gonna.
No, Nintendo said no. We'll release a couple of new knockout tools in a year. Goodbye.
You know what's going to happen, don't you? With like Animal Crossing, because the whole thing about the next Animal Crossing is everyone's like, oh, it's got to be a live service thing. They're going to have to keep adding.
Yeah.
Bet it comes out and it's just standalone. That's it.
Yeah,
Standalone. We'll be picking up Easter eggs every year again. That was yeah. All right. Okay. Is that it for the news?
Yeah. So but yeah, that's some nice news. That's
Yes,
some nice
it's
news.
some happy news to end
yeah,
on.
Maybe everything will be all right.
Yeah, everything's going to be
Doesn't
fine.
really make up for it, does it, James? Is that what
No,
you're
it
suggesting?
doesn't.
Good
But
on
it's-
Nintendo.
Like, I'm trying here, David.
Nintendo
Still
have
thinking about the
hired
bad news, aren't you?
3,200 people to make stuff for Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, James, very insensitive. What you've been playing then? Let's get to what you've been playing. We have been playing a new game. Now, right, we're going to talk about Rhythm Paradise Groove,
Yeah.
which is a video game. Is it by Nintendo?
I wondered this because I thought it was, and then the title screen suggested otherwise.
Well, yeah. What's the story behind the development of this game? I don't quite get it. I think Nintendo are presenting it as a first-party game, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like that's how it felt like the advertising went for this game. Like they were really pushing it. It took front and center on the last Direct. Yeah. So I'm assuming Nintendo are heavily involved.
So it's co-developed with TNX. This is me reading it now. I mean, obviously, this is what it says on the title screen. So they've worked on previous Rhythm Paradise games or Rhythm Heaven.
Okay.
The original
Yep.
title's Rhythm Tengoku, which means Paradise Stroke Heaven. So, and for some reason in the West they change between the two. So they've worked on previous ones. So it's not like they've just plucked out of thin air, I guess. But again, yeah, it just sort of adds to the like, well, what are Nintendo doing then?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's like they don't want to make any of their own games anymore. But anyway, that to one side. Rhythm Paradise Groove is the latest addition to the Rhythm Paradise series. I will say this is it's a pretty simple concept to explain, and it will not be for everyone. But Rhythm Paradise is essentially a collection of mini games. Not quite. A lot of people say, "Oh, it's like WarioWare." They're longer than that. It's not micro games. They are mini games, and they are they're sort of rhythm. What they call it? Fucking hell! What is that genre of game?
Rhythm action? No.
Rhythm action game. There's sort of rhythm action games. However, they're very, very basic, right? They're usually 1 button, 2 button max. And you get this short presentation on how to do each little game. And then you get put into the game. And the idea is that you have to do well enough to then move on to the next level. And eventually each level is presented to you in groups of 4 or 5, and at the end of that group, you will have a remix where it brings in all of the little games you've played in that sort of section. The idea is very much that you are to work your way through the game, but also when you want to go back and earn medals for the games, and sort of increase it. Then it throws challenges at you. It says, right now you need to try and do this one to 100%, like not make any mistakes. You've got 3 lives in which to do it, and there is these little side games, but it very much is a game where it's asking you to do essentially the same thing over and over again. Like pretty much you can say, oh, there are 100 mini games in this or whatever, but they're all just press A at the right time essentially. But the way it presents it is such a unique looking. It's got that sort of bizarre humor. It's got a little bit of trolling involved. That in the as you're playing, the game will do everything it can to put you off. Like it'll be that like hit it at the wrong rhythm, or completely distract you with what's going on the screen and all that. Sort of stuff.
Or blocks it entirely, so you just have to rely on the audio cues rather than visual timing.
I think you can do right. They're all designed so that you could do the whole thing with your eyes closed. But
yes, and I think it's very much. Well, the reason why I'm saying all this is because when you've got a rhythm action game, it's really hard to get a tone right. Guitaroo Man has a fucking tone to it, but the Rhythm Paradise games definitely have their own tone. So I think that's what's interesting. I've seen a few weird comments about this game, and then when I looked into them, they're very much saying that this is my first Rhythm Paradise game, and I'm like, oh, you didn't know what you were getting into? Okay, fine, because I knew exactly what I was getting into, and I am fucking loving this. As a person that's been quite down on playing new games, I thought 007 wasn't as good as I was hoping. There was a couple of other games that I was playing that I was like, yeah, it's okay, but I'm not falling in love with it. I finally got this in my hands. Like Star Fox initially, I'll talk about Star Fox again in a bit, but I was quite down on that last week. When I got this in my hands and started playing it, I was like, this is absolutely superb. This is exactly what I need right now. I'm having so much fucking fun. I'm only on like level the 6th group of levels. How far into it are you, Sean?
Same, yeah. Have you done the letter A one?
I've not. No, I've just started the 6th group of. Is it fun or hard?
So good.
Is it?
It's just funny.
We'll talk about our favourites in a bit, but like I have gone back and sort of got medals in pretty much all of the ones that I've done so far.
So how do you get medals? Is that by getting perfect or
not?
No. You don't need to get perfect.
You can also get perfect medals, can't you? But the way that works is. I was going to say it's annoying. It's not. It's basically every so often it'll randomly highlight a level and it'll be like, right, try and get a perfect score on this level.
Oh, okay.
And that's
you got 3 attempts.
Oh, you get 3 attempts. Yeah, okay. Cool.
Yeah. There's 3 lives, 3 hearts down. Well, so the way you get the initial medal is to do well enough to be described as awesome. So there's like different. There's like a failure. I've not failed any of them yet. I don't know if you have, but I don't know what they call. Genuinely,
there's like good, very good. And
well, this is what I was going to say. This game is way more forgiving than the previous Rhythm. I think the threshold for passing a level is way lower than it was in the previous ones, and even the you need to get an awesome rating to get your first medal, and even like getting that is like really relatively like straightforward. You can make a fair amount of mistakes in a level and still get an awesome rating. I fucking love it. I fucking love it, Matt. I love the music. I love the tone. I love the imagery. I love how it makes you feel when you're tapping along to each of the songs.
Yeah.
I just adore everything about this game. I'm in love with it.
When you're saying, so you feel it's easier, right, than previous?
Yeah, it's way easier than
it's easier,
the first.
The way it sort of leads you in, like the first sort of set of levels are piss easy, like that's which is fine.
But do you still feel satisfaction from getting like the medals and stuff then? If it's like if it's
Yeah.
So, yeah, because you'll come across one that isn't quite as easy as the others.
Yeah.
And when so the hurdles one, Sean,
Yes.
the one where you got to jump over the hurdles and go
Yeah,
underneath
yeah.
it, and then it speeds up really, really.
Yeah.
Like that was the one that I couldn't get an awesome rating on. And I
Mm.
don't know what it was, just my brain wasn't getting the timing right.
Yeah.
I think it was because I was working too much on the visual, and you've got to get
Yes.
really close to those hurdles before you press jump,
Yeah.
you know. So I was really fucking struggling with it.
Mhm.
And after doing it about 5 or 6 times in a row, I got the awesome rating, and I was over the moon. Like that was the moment where I was like, "Yes, mate." So yeah, that was a pretty cool moment.
I think just one important distinction is yes, you can pass a level relatively easily, but getting like an awesome or a perfect can still be really tricky. Like because
Yeah.
you just even when it's a really simple one, you get too sort of in your own head and you're like, well, this is easy, I can do that, and then immediately you fuck one up.
Yeah.
Like that can always happen.
So I'm
So
only in
this
the
your
first
first one,
block
Matt?
of first one. So I knew nothing about it going into it, but I knew it was out and I knew you guys were excited about it, so I bought it. So but I knew I think I knew or assumed it's like a rhythm game, but I thought it was gonna be like a big old story. There's nothing like that. It's just literally like a whole
No, it's no
section of mini
story.
games, which is fine. Yeah, but my first one, I mean, I'm only in the first block of like 6 levels, so I think I've done like 3 of the strands of levels. I don't know, but
For those who haven't played it, so basically each sort of column of levels, so there'll be like 5 sort of individual sort of rhythm mini games, and then there'll be a remix which will incorporate. Is it 5 or 4? I can't remember.
It's 4.
I think it's
Yeah, I've got it now. It's 4. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
it's
got it up
4,
on the
sorry,
screen now. Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't know that I've played every single fucking one of these, would you? For the last 15 years. But anyhow. And then there'll be a remix level which incorporates all 4 of them, but like in a new song. So like the rhythm might be different, the tempo's different. They like visually they're a little bit different, and it's chopping and changing between the different games.
Well, this is
sorry.
on stage 3, Sean.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was fucking incredible when instead of just going, here's a bit from this level, here's a bit from that level, it started bringing the levels
Crosses them
into
over.
each
Yeah,
other
yeah,
and playing them
yeah.
at the same time. So you're
Yeah.
basically playing 2 levels with the same button press.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was fucking brilliant.
Yeah,
Like I loved
really
it the
smart.
moment it did that. Yeah, very, very impressive.
Did you have any trouble with the 5th remix?
No.
Because I didn't fail it, but both times I tried it, I was like, that was bad. I was shocked, and it still
yeah,
let
I
me
did
through,
initially. I did initially because I mean, some of it does get challenging. Like I think it starts off it's relatively easy, and then I think by the 4th one when you've got that crushing
the
game, I
cans.
found
Yeah,
that like really interesting because that was quite difficult getting the timing right for that. And then you had the dancers because that was more to do with. Oh, there's more that you're doing here than you're not just tapping along anymore. You're also positioning, and then you've got alternate between the 2 buttons and stuff until it stops and it throws more at you. So I think once I got to the 5th remix, I started that and I was like, fucking hell, yeah, I'm struggling here. So I hit restart and then I sort of nailed it after that. I just had to like focus a little bit. It wasn't as easy as I was hoping.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Matt, what were your impressions then? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've kind of barely scratched the surface. Really, it felt very, very simplistic. But then, obviously, I'm very early on in the game. But I mean, we'll get to our favourites. But the car one was great because it felt like there's a bit more. Like we're
that's
shooting
the
like
second level. That's the second strand.
the second strand.
car
Yeah. You're basically like seeing. You're shooting this car video and you got like brake or accelerate, and that one's good.
Yeah,
that
that's
one's a
great.
bit that had a bit more to it, which I really enjoyed. I'd much prefer the ones with 2 button presses rather than just simply hammering A. Are there others where it's much more than just 2? I mean, you just mentioned there about movement of a person.
No,
something.
that is literally
Okay.
just 2 buttons. Yeah.
But still, it's just fun to do. And like, so does every one of them have like a practice area, or do later on can you not practice later, or can you always practice the timing?
They all have a practice.
They all have a
first,
tutorial,
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool,
They
yeah.
didn't use.
I wasn't sure if they ever moved that at some point, but
I don't know because previous games, I think some had a sort of a tutorial to lead in, and then some just didn't. Some just went straight for it. But then you could argue it's like, well, if you want them to get more complicated over time, then there's going to be some way you need explaining first. I think that's kind of fair.
But
Which is fine. I just
wish
I wish you could default it. That I wish the game recognised that you've already done well in this one. You don't need to. The default isn't going to. Maybe as the game's loading, you could press a button to go into the tutorial.
You can press minus to stop the tutorial, can't you?
Yeah, I know, but I want it to be the other way around. Essentially, is that once you've done it once, you should be able to just press the button to go into the tutorial rather than because especially when you're stuck on one. And it actually then takes you through the whole process and then back to the main menu. Then you've got to go back in, then skip the tutorial to give it another go.
Yeah, and like sometimes I've felt like I've skipped it. Like I've just out of curiosity, I've skipped a few of the tutorials completely, and actually I've learned more in 20 seconds of trying to do it and failing and restarting than I would have after several minutes of sitting through the tutorial. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you might find it's quicker to just skip the tutorial. And have
but my favourite ones are the ones so far, the ones where it blocks it moves the camera so you can't see. I love the dog frisbee one. Where cool. It's frisbee, isn't it? And like you got count to 7, and then later on there's no counter on screen, so you got count 7 in your head, and then the camera zooms in on the person throwing the frisbee and not the dog, and you're like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so those are my favourite ones so far, and so I think I'm going to enjoy this even more when it ramps up the complexity.
Have you done the hurdle one yet, mate, Matt?
No, not yet.
No. Have to get down. That's your next one. Okay. Right, I felt like I had that burnt into my head. Yeah, my favourites have definitely been the car one. The car one. Yeah. One sec. The car one. The moon one. Where he's sneezing. I like the fact that it winds you up all the time. Like the idea is that you go choo, and then you press the button when he sneezes. But the amount of times it goes and you're like, oh, fuck off. The dancing one obviously is one of the highlights where you're sort of dancing around in time with you're like backing dancers for a singer or whatever. And also the fucking thunderstorm one, Sean. I love like when it lines. Like I've never been happy. So basically, with the thunderstorm one, you have to dodge the lightning, right? So it makes a little sound, then you press the button to dodge the lightning, and then it says sometimes you'll see a number, and that means that you'll repeatedly have to dodge the lightning in time with the music. I want to I hope the next number's 40 because this is so satisfying. It's usually only like 4, but I'm like, oh, I want to do this forever. And the other one that I really like is the 2 dudes on the car windscreen. I think that is probably my ultimate favourite. Like that is just so brilliantly done.
And there's one of those where in the remix where it's you sort of think, oh well, rhythm action stuff, presumably the faster it is, the harder it is. But then there's in the remix, there's one with those 2 guys where it's like it's so slow that it just completely throws me off. Like I can't do it at all.
Yes, you get these 2. There's like you control these 2 aliens, and they're on a car, and the indicator goes to highlight when the wipers are going to go. So the indicators will go like, and then you've got to jump because that's the speed of the wiper, right? To avoid being hit. There's 2 aliens. You control one with the left on the D-pad and one with the A button. So sometimes both of them move, sometimes only one of the wipers move, and all this sort of stuff. So you've got to keep on top of that. But you're absolutely right. Usually the pace is like dum dum, and you go dum dum. But then in the remix, at some point it goes dum dum. Dum, and you go dum. Fuck.
I liked it on the lily pad one where you had like the frogs, and like sometimes you had a red frog that would jump in on the second one, and but on the lily pad one, there's like frogs jump on lily pads, and it gets to the final one, and you hit A. But then on that one, I felt like was that the first one where you can either have a okay lily pad or like a perfect one if it goes directly up, like
they all have that.
Okay. Yeah, so because in the earlier games it was very it was pretty binary. Like you either absolutely nailed it or it was a fail. Whereas this seems to have sort of like, well, you get the timing exactly right, but it's there's some sort of visual representation.
Yeah, so like in the crushing the tin can thing, you either crush a tin can, you either sort of half smash it and it rolls off the conveyor belt, or you miss it completely. Like it's
right, yeah. Well, I guess that's like lily pad, yeah. You either miss a frog, it goes over to the right, or it goes right up in the air, doesn't it?
But it's the same with the ring jumping one, Matt, because like you can either jump through the ring, you can either trip on the ring, or it can absolutely.
Yes. Oh yeah, good point. Yeah. I never thought of that. Yeah, that one always catches me out. on the remix of that one, I was like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I didn't like that one either. It was a strong one to start with because it's asking you to do it on the count of 5 rather than the count of 4.
Yeah.
So I really struggled with that initially. That first one, I was like, "Oh, is the whole game going to be really this tough?" And then I realised no, it was just that was a tough one to start. So.
So this I think it's called A for Effort. I won't spoil specifically what's funny about it, but it's just such an interesting way of doing like a rhythm challenge. So basically, what you are told is like, so the thing you need to hit is when the letter A appears, and then it's like spelling out words. So they're all drink. So it'd be like TEA, and then SODA, like, and you have to like hit it on the A.
Amazing.
And just there's something it does with the visuals that I was just fucking laughing. It was.
Oh,
so
I can't
good.
wait. Yeah.
Really,
So
really good.
I must be nearly there because the last one I
Yes,
did was
yeah.
the football one. The problem is, right, the football one is also insanely good, like to play. Like it just feels so satisfying to play that I did the football one and then I got like an awesome straight away, and then I just did the football one again, and then I did the football one again because it's just like loving playing it, you know. So yeah, like maybe I've got that coming up. I'm quite looking forward to that one. That sounds fucking great.
So, have you guys been mostly playing handheld or on TV?
Yeah, handheld. Yeah,
Oh, right, okay. I was playing on
that's
TV.
how I played it. I played multiplayer on the TV, which we'll talk about in a sec. But it feels to me that it's a handheld game. Like that's
because I wondered about the lag issues. Because I
So
know
it does have a tool to mitigate that. I did laugh. I think I posted this in the WhatsApp group. When you first load it up, it's like, oh, by the way, if you're using Bluetooth headphones, maybe don't. Like, and I was like, oh, cool. Is that their fucking solution? But then, there is like a calibration thing for TVs.
You know why it does that though, right?
What does what? Sorry.
The Bluetooth don't use.
Oh yeah,
because
there's often like a significant delay.
Well, yeah, but what I mean, the reason why they do that and not say, okay, you're using Bluetooth headphones, here's the calibrator thing, is because what it does, it set it perfectly for handheld mode, right? So it works for the device you're using it in, but you can change that in TV mode, and the game knows when you're in TV mode and when you're in handheld or desktop mode. So if you were to then use Bluetooth headphones and then change it in handheld mode, it won't like be able to recognize that.
So handheld with Bluetooth, handheld without Bluetooth, TV with, TV without.
So essentially, you only have to set it once for your TV, and then in theory, you would only have to do that again if you move to another setup. Whereas mine will now always revert to that lag on my TV when I'm using it in TV mode.
So I've only played TV mode. If I then play handheld, will I have to recalibrate again or?
No, it's what we're saying.
No.
It knows.
So switch back to
okay, cool.
default, yeah. That's what's so good about it. Yeah, so we played the multiplayer, me and Charlie, and that's hilarious. Like we had a real good time with it. Because it wasn't as competitive as I thought. It was more cooperative, which I thought was actually the two games we did play were cooperative. So we did the onion picking, the famous picking the hairs off the onion.
That's a classic.
Yeah, it is, and it's really funny because you set your name, and I didn't know because this game is full of text to speech. I think it's Nintendo's way of using AI and not getting in trouble over it.
I don't think it's AI. It's pretty rudimentary text.
That's what I'm saying, but it also means that they don't have to
in
pay.
Previous games though. I just thought it was like, this is just what has been done in previous games.
No,
it's not their thing.
It makes sense because obviously, as I say, because half of the thing with the game is that you could play it without looking at it. So obviously, from an accessibility point of view, that's amazing. That it's so it's the gameplay itself is designed to be played without looking at it, and also you've got that full narration because it narrates like all the menus and stuff as well.
Yeah.
So but amazing if you've got vision issues or whatever,
But they haven't paid a voice actor to do that.
No.
They've gone text to speech. Then it's their way of getting around that. I think.
And the fact that it's like, here's the character that will read everything out. She sometimes makes mistakes.
Someone says.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Do you know what's really funny? So so this character by default will read everything on the screen and also talk to you, like during through the tutorials or whatever.
I think, and isn't there's like a descriptive option as well?
There's a descriptive one.
The scenes and stuff.
There's a descriptive one. There's a just read the text, and there's an off switch. And I think there needs to be a third option where you go where a character's talking.
Yeah.
Then text to speech works, but not every menu
Like
option
German,
is
yeah,
text to
yeah.
speech as well, right? So
Yeah.
you know that's a little bit frustrating. So I got annoyed with it.
Mhm.
I turned the text to speech off pretty quickly.
Yep.
What I like about that is that if you do that, the character then just gives you a dirty look constantly. Whenever you see the character, it's just like staring at you, not talking to you, looking at you angry. That really made me laugh.
Yeah, yeah.
But there is text to speech in the multiplayer game, even if you've got that set off,
Right,
because
okay.
so the onion hair picking game,
Mhm.
what it was is like there's 15 levels, and one of you has to do it right for you to move on. If
Okay.
you both do it wrong, you're out,
Right.
right? And so I was playing that with Charlie, and we were cracking up because before it's your turn to try it, it will go, Dad, dun, da, 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 Charlie T, dun, dun,
that's
da,
good.
da, and then we would like just piss
That's
ourselves.
awesome.
Like next time, I'm gonna change my name to Poo Poo Bum or something, and
Yeah.
that just be really funny. Uh, that was great. Charlie and I had a real good laugh with that at the weekend. So it's not extensive. It looks like there's barely any mini games to it really. However, I think it's worth giving a go if you've got someone in your house that would appreciate some rhythm action stuff.
I mean, and it's definitely like, yeah, like if you've played others in the series, all the games are new, but overall it doesn't shake things up in any sort
No,
of way.
absolutely not.
Because like the 3DS one felt like a sort of farewell tour because it was like greatest hits from like the entire series, and so that felt like, guys, we run out of ideas. This is the last one. Enjoy. So this one is kind of, they've definitely had more ideas, but there's clearly no sort of interest in like properly reinventing it or shaking things up. But
No,
there's nothing else
but
like
it
it,
is
so whatever, you know.
it is kind of funny where it's like, okay, look, we know we've just replaced the mice with cars this time. Okay, so just shut up, just let
Well,
us
hang on,
get
because the
away with
mice
this
would
one.
just stop and go, whereas the cars, there's the stop and then there's the like rev, go faster as well. So that's completely different. It's two
Completely
buttons,
different.
Sorry.
twice as many buttons, right?
What you actually said there was, it's not just stop and go like the mice. It's brake and then
Yeah.
and then
It's
move
go and
faster.
Stop and go and go faster, and then go slow down again.
Only because they go by default. I am. Yeah, look, I love Ribbon Paradise. This is a very, very fun game. If you want something that will challenge your rhythm and you like a bit of rhythm action, don't expect anything too taxing in terms of So this isn't Guitar Man or Wendan. This is a very basic. It feels like a rhythm testing tool rather than an in-depth rhythm action game like those are.
I don't know.
But
I
I
mean,
fucking love it.
I reckon it'll be interesting to see how far it goes, because, like I said, like the 3DS one kind of went through like a series of levels, and it was like, right, okay, you finished it, well done, and then it just went, well, like, oh, you're in like heaven now, and now there's like as many levels again, and like, it was like
Cool.
harder versions of all of them. So maybe it does that. I don't know.
Okay, well we'll see. But I think it's a wonderful game, and it's sort of rekindled my love. It's what, like 32 quid on the eShop.
Yeah,
But
not
you can
much.
buy it physically as well. So yeah, highly recommend. So staying with the Switch for a moment, I kind of regretted how I spoke about Star Fox last week. And it's funny. It's really funny. You remember where I was saying, like, I'm really struggling. The four bad guys show up, and I'm really struggling taking them out. It turns out I just went on a really hard route. I went all along the
Right.
top, which is meant to be like really, really tough.
Oh, that was the
when you
first
get to-
route I did. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so when I faced them all just before going to see Andros,
Yeah.
they're supposed to be really tough at that point.
Right.
Anyway, the next day, in fact, actually, it was one of those things where we'd recorded the pod, I'd listened to it back that night. So the Tuesday night, I sat down and played it again and fucking fell in love with it. I just loved it. I did like 2 or 3 runs, and I was trying different things, and all these memories were coming flooding back. And I was really getting into the mechanics of it, and building up my lasers and making sure that I took out anyone that was chasing after whoever. And even I remember doing stuff that I was doing when I was a kid and just saying, I wonder what happens this time if I just let Falco die every time he gets into trouble. Let's try a run like that. And then I got to one run where I absolutely blitzed through everything and then left with my whole team still alive. None of them got taken out. And I just thought, yeah, do you know what? Star Fox is fucking great.
How many of the routes have you done? Because I've got one. I think I've got one area that I still need to get to that I'm struggling to get into, and
I'm still struggling to find out how I find that information out.
Okay.
Like, where do I see how many of the possible routes?
Yeah, because as Sean said last week, it doesn't show routes, does it? So that's...
Yeah, so I don't really know. I've finished it like 4 or 5 times, and I've tried to do different things every time. I know there are 2 planets that I haven't been to. One of them because I don't. One of them I'm not too sure why I haven't been there. The other one is partly because I really, really, really don't want Slippy to get captured, because that killed me as a kid, and I don't really want to go through that again. But like, yeah, Star Fox is fucking great. I think £40 is a bit much, but it's still a really, really fun game to play. Yeah, it's a good game. It's a good game. I don't know if we've got much else. Sean, you've got... oh, no, sorry, Sean, before we get to Destiny 2 for an update, I would like to mention as well that I've been on a Rockstar thing this week. And I think it was because... no, I know exactly why it was. I listened to the Backpage pod. They did a special on GTA 5. And I was like, yeah, I've finished that game. I remember a lot about it, but I'd love to go back and hear people talk about things that I perhaps forgotten. So I listened to that, and I was like, fuck, I'm going to download GTA 5. And also there's been a lot of discussion about Red Dead Redemption on our Discord this week, and I was looking at old cutscenes of Red Dead and just remembering how much I adored that game. So I downloaded GTA 5 and started playing it. Firstly, it doesn't look great at the moment. Like, I'm playing the Xbox Series X, and for the first time I've loaded that game up ever, I've gone, oh yeah, no, this finally looks a bit ropey. I mean, you should expect it to. But I mean, it was amazing that I played this 5 years ago and thought, no, this is still perfectly acceptable. Or whatever.
Yeah, on two console generations ago on the 360.
It came out on PS3, didn't it? And
but it was still incredible. I was walking along. I had a phone call. I picked up the phone, and my daughter had been kidnapped, so I had to go. No, she hadn't been kidnapped. She'd been arrested. So I had to go to where she was arrested, jump in the police car, drive off with her in the back seat, and get away from the police, and then take her home and stuff. And I just thought, this is fucking great. This is fucking great. It's so much fun. The driving mechanics isn't particularly very good in that game. I hope they really. I mean, a GTA have always had that thing about we want it to feel really, really, with the driving stuff. They could tone it down a little bit. Like, that is
the driving model's rarely been great.
Yeah, no. Which
you play first person?
I popped into first person for a little bit. Yes, Matt.
I remember that being so cool when they released that. Was it on Xbox One and PS5?
Yeah, I think it was the Xbox One version. Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt went straight to strip bar, didn't he, for that? The one thing that the one thing that I did do it was one of my favourite things that I ever did when I played my first run through a GTA 5 was I drove to the airport, drove through the barriers straight onto an airplane, and then took off in the airplane, and that music sort of kicks in as you rise above the clouds and stuff. Yeah. And I was just like, this is so fucking cool. And but as I was flying away, I hit something. So one of my engines was starting to smoke, and then when I got above the clouds, both of the engines started to smoke, and then the engines just failed, and I was like gliding down. And as I come through the clouds, I noticed, fuck, I can't get onto the runway, so I am literally gonna crash into the lake now. So I just angled it just right so that it didn't, explode the moment I hit the water. Landed, got out, swam out, like, because right, okay, don't judge me, Charlie was watching while this was going on.
Is that the police? Hello.
Yeah. And when he saw the fact that the plane just didn't explode when I hit the water, and actually it sunk, and I got out and swam up to the surface and then swam over to the thing. He was like, "This is incredible," and I'm like, "Yeah, it is. Yes, it is."
Yes.
All of that happened in a very like short space of time, and I was like, "I'm so ready for GTA." So then I finished that. I watched all the trailers for GTA 5, and then I watched all the trailers for GTA 6, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm ready now. I'm ready for that now." I cannot wait for that game to come out.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
It's,
And just to remind anyone, if you haven't, that we did release one of our Patreon streams where we did one of the GTA heists. That's just live for everyone watching our YouTube channel. Still one of the funniest, most mad things we've ever done. Well worth going onto our YouTube channel and searching for the GTA heist video because, my word.
Yeah, we nearly had it by the end. It was we were doing pretty well, but then things happened.
Things did happen.
Things did happen, didn't they?
Yeah.
It's
So yeah,
funny, one thing I think I took for granted. Like, I'm now old enough to appreciate the fact that they got fucking Tangerine Dream to do the soundtrack for GTA 5. Like, I think when that was announced, I was like, oh yeah, I kind of have heard of them. Are they a big deal? Are they? Yeah, they are. They're fucking massive. And it was one of the last things they did before the main guy passed away as well.
Right.
So, yeah, incredible soundtrack. But
Yeah.
I've appreciated more now that I'm in my 40s. It's a prerequisite. But, yeah.
Okay, Sean,
Hello.
you've got one game left.
I've got one game left. Destiny 2. So I've, in tandem, started the Final Shape DLC and also the Renegades one. So Final Shape was, we talked about this the other week. This was like the big end to the light and dark saga. Ooh. It's really fucking good, but it I don't know. I think I was expecting a bit more because I'd heard this was like, oh, this is the last really good like expansion of Destiny 2, and then it sort of, then things sort of started to wane a bit. But it's so strange because it's so fun to play. It's got this, this mechanic, this whole light and dark thing, right? So for years you had all these light-based powers, and then one day they went, oh, now Guardians can use the darkness as well, and that was a big deal. This has this like prismatic subclass where basically you can sort of freely pick and choose abilities from all the other subclasses, which is really interesting. It's really cool. So I'm really enjoying that. I'm really enjoying the campaign, but it's so weird. It's like sometimes because I'm quite thick, I don't always understand the difference between like writing in a game and narrative design in a game. Whereas this is like such an obvious example of the two not really matching up. The writing is really good. Like, I'm really enjoying the story, but the way it's told is so fucking strange.
Really?
You are like the campaign is but this is like 2 years old at this point, and people will be like, why is he still talking about this? You've gone inside the Traveler, and it's all like recreations of places you've been before and stuff, but all kind of mashed together in a weird way, and some of it's corrupted by the Witness, who's the big baddie. But essentially, it's a series of very cool campaign missions, but then between them, you just sort of stood in an area and like you set up camp like between missions, right? And there's a little campfire and some chairs and some boxes with screens on them and stuff. And it'll just be like, right, you've done a mission like this, X, Y, Z has just happened. And then you're like, right, now you're between missions, you're at this campsite, and there'll be like maybe a couple of the characters that have just been involved in the previous mission, and they might have like a conversation. And then it'll be like, right, now listen to the radio. What? And then there'll just be a radio next to the campfire, and you listen to the radio, and it's just like another conversation between two characters. And you're just like, this makes no sense. This is a private conversation between two people who are not here, and I'm just listening in on a radio, and it's like, and again, the dialogue is good, the story is good, but you just like, it just feels like a weird workaround.
Yeah,
we didn't really know. Yeah, like, oh, well, we've written these cutscenes, but we don't really have time to do them. Oh, we just fucking play them on a radio, make it a radio play.
It sounds very Life is Strange. hey,
Yeah.
we've got all this character development stuff, but you need to read it on someone's laptop while they're
Yeah,
crying
yeah.
in the room that you're in.
Yeah, go through their emails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see that? That last game apparently did not that badly. It
Really?
exceeded Square Enix's expectations.
Bloody hell! Nothing.
Bloody
does
hell.
that. Yeah.
It must have sold
High praise
billions.
indeed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Are you saying we might not have seen the end of Chloe's journey?
I think so. Yeah, I think there's going to be more. We'll see.
Yeah, all right.
We'll see. Yeah. So then on top of that, I've been playing a bit of the Renegade stuff, which was the Star Wars tie-in one. God, it's strange because it's like it's officially like, you know, it was made in collaboration with Lucasfilm. Like, it is supposed to be Star Wars-ish, but that's all it is, right? There's no, like, there are characters with lightsabers. There's a new enemy faction called the Imperium, but
Okay.
it's like someone at Bungie just wrote some Star Wars fanfic, and then sort of went, oh well, but we'll never get the license, so we'll just we'll call things like slightly different things.
Yeah.
And
Light
there's like
swords.
a really obvious, there's like a really obvious pairing of like these two characters, and one's clearly a Sith and one's a Jedi, and they have a lightsaber fight. And but it's just so weird. It's like everything about it feels Star Wars, but it is not official. But it is officially Star Wars, but it's not. Do you know what I mean? It's like
It's
they
off-brand
officially
Star
got the
Wars.
nod, but but it's like, well, let's write a Star Wars
Galactic
story.
battles.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let's just rename everything so that it kind of makes sense within Destiny. But obviously, but then the weirdest part of that is, because it's Destiny 2, which is a good game, part of you is like, this is the best Star Wars game I've played in years. Like, so, really strange. Like, all the environments, like the first mission you do, you're like infiltrating a ship and trying to rescue someone. And it's like, fuck, this is like being on a Death Star or something, or a Star Destroyer. Like, it's all big, white, massive rooms, shiny floors, little robots going around, and then we're doing weird noises and shit. And just like, this feels Star Wars. It's just not, but it is, but it isn't.
How
So
strange.
I will play more of it. Just very odd.
So you don't have a lightsaber in the game. You just
I
have the
don't
weapons.
have a lightsaber yet. I assume you can get one because there's swords in the game.
Yes,
so
yeah, good point, yeah.
I assume you.
Well,
I assume they'll
I-
hold off on letting you have a lightsaber because they know if you give you one in the first few minutes, you're like, all right, well,
Yeah, that's what you want to play with. Yeah.
I do really love that when Star Wars is not crowbarred into things, but where it is like it slightly often doesn't work with Star Wars, but it's introduced in a video game. Like
Yeah.
what I'm thinking of is what was the Battlefield version of Star
Battlefront?
Wars?
Battlefront.
Battlefront. The latest Battlefront that come out, and you're like, you walk out of, like, you're on Hoth, and you're like, holy shit, this is actual Hoth, and look at those AT-ATs, and look at this huge battle. This is absolutely unbelievable. And then you see Palpatine floating towards you, like throwing lightning everywhere, going.
It's like, do you remember Star Wars Connect? Star Wars Connect with the dancing and all that.
Oh, yeah,
dancing.
what was it? I'm Han Solo. I'm Han Solo. Sean told me about that. I went and watched it because I didn't believe him.
I can't believe
like,
the
I'm Han Solo.
carbonite is gone.
Yeah, maybe actually that's more entertaining than Star Wars has been for a while. To be fair,
Can I
maybe they
just? We
should stick
don't
with
normally do this. We've had
Uh-oh.
a sub from Damien the Bong King.
Congrats, Damien.
Shout out to Damien the Bong King.
that. Yeah,
44 months
yeah,
as well.
shout out.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what we've been playing this week. Let's get to questions and get out of here.
If you want to send
Sure,
us a
Ben.
question, go to tcgs.co. Ben,
Can I just say,
Oh yeah.
I watched after the match last night. I watched the punditry at the end, and it was Wayne Rooney, who else? Mika Richards and Joe Hart. I
Joe
think.
Hart,
Yeah, and because it had been delayed an hour, they were like they were sitting there and they'd obviously been there longer than they intended to be there, and they were saying, and the main presenter said, "Oh, we're not going yet because we do need to talk to Thomas Tuchel about the game, and it's there's a little slight delay in getting Thomas Tuchel," and they were just like us. They were going, "Oh, can we wrap this? We do need to."
Let's
And the
delete
main
that
presenter
one.
was like Matt going, "So let's look at the shots that didn't go in." this. This is pure TCGS. Sorry. Sean,
all right.
Very rude of me.
Ben says last night was AEW Forbidden Door, that's a wrestling thing, and a minor spoiler, but inside a 12-man steel cage match, a NES, both the machine with a cart inserted and the controller were used as weapons. My simple connected question, what would be your choice of video game console, peripheral, or related parts to use as a deadly weapon?
I mean, there's the obvious choice of
Yeah.
the original Xbox being massive, and
Yeah.
you could do a lot of damage with that thing. But obviously, the
Quite
GameCube,
hard to swing it, though.
the GameCube would be great for swinging because it's got
Yeah,
the whole
handle.
the handle.
I don't think that handle would survive one or two big hits though.
You think so?
true.
I'm thinking I think the Saturn
You only need
is
one
a
if you do it right,
beast.
though.
The Saturn will kill someone. If
We
you
killed
don't,
Sega.
well, yeah, it's a killed old company. Yeah. So most kills.
Mine would be the boomerang controller that Sony were going to release, and then they bought
Oh
one.
yeah, that could take an eye out.
Yeah, definitely take an eye out.
I can imagine
Has there
you can imagine you walking in with that like strapped in your belt, ready to come
Yeah.
out, so you can.
You're throwing
little
it, and it's like
holster.
knocks a few people out on the way round, and
Yeah.
then you catch it again. Yeah, man. Definitely. Well, I didn't care. So the idea with the boomerang was that it was used as a weapon, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
The
and
idea being that if you
was
miss,
that
it comes back.
only if it because I was thinking
If it hits,
if it hits, they've got a bump on the head and a weapon. This is a bad idea.
Do they
Maybe
genuinely
something
come
would
back
knock them
then?
out with one.
Yeah,
Do
they
they
do.
genuinely,
Yeah, have you
genuinely
never
come
used
back?
a boomerang before?
No.
Yeah. Oh
How,
man, I need.
how easy are they to come back though?
Quite hard.
Have you
It's
ever
all- it's
flown
all
a
in the
kite,
wrist.
Matt?
I've flown a kite. Yeah, I probably have done. Yeah.
Probably
I was
yes or
thinking
no.
the other day,
Well, I'm sure I
we-
have when I was a child. I mean, I don't remember many kite experiences, but I'm sure I
I'm
have
thinking we're taking Matt to a park and giving him a boomerang and a kite and doing all the things that he never maybe learned.
Yes,
learned
okay,
to
I'll
ride
be
a
up for
bike.
that.
Matt's
done. What we'll do
sport
is we will stream, and the stream doesn't end until I get a boomerang to come back to me.
You can also show off your blading skills as well.
That's true.
Oh, damn straight. I'll get them out of the
With a
cupboard.
ruler and a desk.
Yeah.
Actual blades, mate. Actual blades.
I
You
was,
weren't there. You weren't there.
I was at the beach on Saturday and I saw a few people out with kites and I thought, oh fuck, I could just buy a kite. I could just do that because I had one as a kid and we
do that.
and we
You're an adult. You can do what you want. They can't stop you, Sean.
No, because I had one when I was a kid and me and my brother, I genuinely don't remember whose fault it was. Let's face
Oh,
it.
here we go.
probably
He
mine.
does. It's his brothers. Yeah. Okay.
We let go of it and it flew off and we never saw it again. That was Christmas Day. 19
Wow. What a memory.
You could
93, whatever.
always make one as well with a sheet of A4 and some straws.
that
For
work?
the well,
Yeah.
kind of, yeah.
Oh, tough childhood.
But it's just one of those things. Like obviously, it's this
James had a
really
blimp.
this really bad, this really bad childhood memory of like, oh, I thought I had this thing I really wanted, and then just immediately lost it. And then and then as an adult, you're like, I just get one off Amazon. Oh fuck!
High,
One of-
lofty
I'll tell you what.
goals there, Sean.
Asher lost his. He had a helicopter that was given to him, like a toy helicopter.
My granddad, it's been passed down for generations.
Yeah.
The old
It-
helicopter.
it was a
this was,
Chinook.
this was a present from one of Chen's relatives when we were over in China, and it was given to him about 6 years ago. And it's like a remote control helicopter. It's
Oh,
like
right, yeah,
tiny,
okay, now
that
you
like
say
flies
that.
around. And
Changes
he lost it
story.
like today. He got it out because he's never used it before. Put the A4 batteries in, and I said, "Look, it's really windy outside. You don't want to don't just do indoors. It's fine. It's not that big. It'll be all right." He was like, no, it's fine. I'm going to just go. I'll just be at the front of the garden. It'll be all right. He went out there, went up. It's gone.
Yeah.
And
Okay, but I know you, James, and I guarantee you were like, see? Big smile on your face. See? I was right.
Arms folded.
Me,
grinning.
I was right.
I might have said I did say don't go down to the end of the garden. It's very windy. But
Speaking of losing things, I remember one of my big childhood memory of mine. I mean, was well, I was in the car once with my parents, my sister. My sister had a balloon. My mum hates balloons, and my sister was like, I don't know, just like banging around with a balloon in the back. And my mum took hold of it. It's like, if you do it one more time, I'm gonna let go of this balloon, like out of the window. But she gave out to my sister 4 seconds later, bang, bang, bang. And she literally opened the window down and let the balloon go. And my sister was crying for hours. And for years after, every time we saw a balloon in the sky, I was like, is that mine? Like, now I can't see a balloon anywhere, but I'm thinking, I wonder if that's my sister's balloon. So she actually did it. She actually like threatened it, and she actually carried out the threat. It's like she's not actually gonna she let go of the red balloon. Oh my god. Yeah,
We are going
what's
on
that
tangents here, but did you know about was it the San Francisco balloon disaster? Or was it
I
was
don't know.
no, it was like
Was
Dallas
that the
or
parade?
somewhere.
Is that the
No,
one that
it was
someone got
one
sewed
where
into
they
the
tried
pants
to
of the big
break.
Charlie Brown.
No, they tried to
Yeah.
no, they tried to break the the record for setting off as many like helium balloons as possible, and they
Oh, wow.
just didn't think past the point where they released them and went wee, because then they just had these huge it just at Cleveland, right?
You're
Everyone's saying
thinking
that's in
of no, you're thinking
Cleveland.
of the movie Up, David, which wasn't a documentary.
No, they released like thousands of balloons, and it just completely destroyed the city for like fucking
Yeah,
months.
Jesus
Because
Christ.
they all just
Chat
like
says
landed
it was
in the
Cleveland,
ocean and shit.
apparently.
Yeah, they were saying it's Cleveland. Yeah, yeah. Look that up on YouTube, because that is quite something. Right. Next question, please, before we go on a few more of a tangent.
Dave says, I found
Yeah.
myself occasionally rewatching the GTA 6 trailers recently. It's rare these days to not just be excited for a game, but to feel genuine hype with a capital H. It reminds me of being a teenager. What are some of your most rewatched video game trailers? As well as GTA 4 and 5's, I reckon I watched that original Assassin's Creed one dozens of times. That Killzone 2 one too, which in hindsight was obviously fake. And the original Last Guardian one. Good times. Appreciate you all, Dave.
Shit, I don't think.
I mean, the GTA ones have to be up there.
Yeah, the GTA ones are Red
Combing
Dead.
over details, every frame, every second, looking at every the background of everyone. Oh my god.
I think the Gears of War one I watched quite a lot of times. 'cause
Oh,
it
Mad
was-
World,
Wait,
mate.
hold on. Are you
Yeah.
talking about the? Yeah, but which Gears of War one are you talking about?
the Mad World one, yeah, the one that was
The trailer.
yeah,
that was
yeah.
that was the Christmas trailer, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I've seen that for a few times. I must have. I'm sure there was there was an Uncharted one that I was obsessed with. But yeah, I honestly, I don't. What I tend to do with trailers is that once I complete a game, I like
Go
to
back
watch the trailer again
see
and
what
go,
wasn't in the
"Oh,
game."
that was that
Yeah.
bit. Yeah, that was."
Or see what
oh,
wasn't
they
in there, yeah.
cut
Well, it's
that."
mad, isn't it?
Yeah,
Because
yeah, I do
sometimes
that
you'll
all the
spot
time.
something like, that's like the last bit of the game. What were they
Yeah,
doing?
I find that. Yeah,
But of course, out of context,
Yeah.
you don't process it the same way.
My favorite, not games, but my favorite to do that with films was after I watched Rogue One, and you watch the trailer and you go, none of this was in the film.
yeah.
Well, that bit was, but that was totally different. What the fuck? Yeah, that was quite funny. But
I wonder how much
yeah.
of that is intentional misdirection, how much is just like, oh no, we just cut that shit from the film.
No,
I think
Rogue
it's-
One. It was literally they rewrote it and reshot loads of it, didn't
Right.
they?
Okay.
So the original
Yeah, I think
trailer.
it must be
there's-
more the latter, but
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of like the most iconic trailers for video games. Oh, yeah, Gears of War is definitely up there.
the Dead Island
The-
one.
The Dead Island one,
Yeah.
yeah, that was that was a wild one. I was surprised at the controversy of the time. I've not watched it back since, but I remember it being a really, really controversial trailer, and I thought it was a really incredible idea.
Wasn't it? I don't think the trailer itself was controversial, was it? It was just that the trailer was one thing, and then we saw the actual game, and we was like,
No. There was a lot of people. Like I think,
And also the
main
limited
stance
edition
was.
one,
limited
which
edition stuff, was
which had like the
gross. Yeah.
like the chopped
Yeah.
woman's body
Mutilated
corpse, whatever
No,
it was. Yeah,
there was a bit of a backlash to the trailer. I think it had something to do with violence and the use of a young girl in the very violent situation and stuff. I remember there being a lot of people.
All I remember was people just being a bit annoyed that everyone was like, "Oh my god, this is fucking cinema." Like, do you know what I mean? And I think that was just like that was the only backlash I remember. It was just
Right.
guys, calm down. It's a trailer, and then it turned out the game was nothing like that.
Well, I mean, you could say the same for the We Happy Few trailer. That was wild.
God,
That was
mad.
like, what are you even showing us here? Because
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is not. I remember seeing the game and going, no. It was just so bizarre.
It's a classic one. I'm not even sure if it was a trailer or a gameplay demo, but Bioshock Infinite. Do you remember that first reveal of it, and then it turned just none of the stuff we saw was in the game, pretty much?
Well, this is the funny thing, because I didn't follow. I think I liked Bioshock Infinite more because I didn't follow any of the build up to it,
Yeah.
and I just played the game and really enjoyed it. And yeah, it was definitely got problems. That ghost fight was shocking. The game's definitely got problems. But yeah, like I think I missed out on tons of the backlash because I hadn't expected all this stuff that was in the initial trailers. So, yeah,
because the trailer had because it was using Elizabeth, like using her ability to like open portals to other dimensions and stuff. In the trailer, it was like, wow, she can make a fucking train appear and crash through the scene. And in the full game, it's like, would you like some ammo? I could make an ammo box. Yeah, shame.
Hoaxfish in chat is saying, what about the slow motion Halo one? Was that the one that was also showing like there was some sort of battlefield and it was frozen? It was like,
yeah,
and then it was panning across.
He's got a grenade.
That was fucking yes. That was fucking great. Yeah, that was a great trailer.
The original trailer for Hyper Light Drifter is stunning. And again, a lot of what's in it didn't make it into the final game. What I still find really interesting about that trailer is the music on it is incredible, and like the end of the trailer, it's like, oh, and the music's going to be by Disaster Piece, who at that point, was very famous in sort of video game soundtrack circles. Like I think he'd recently done like the Fez soundtrack and stuff, which is like an all-timer. The music on that trailer is not by him. And I only found that out like fucking 8 years later when I got really into baths. There was a guy who does music and not the act. The the musician, and then later found out, oh yeah, he did the music for the Hyper Light Drifter trailer. It's an absolutely incredible track, and yeah, it's just gorgeous trailer. Still rewatch that.
I mean, we're probably getting to bad trailers now, but the original No Man's Sky one was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I love the whole build up to No Man's Sky when that first came out. It's hilarious. We had like 3 years of him going, and here's the map, and I'm going to zoom out. Like, and we're going, yeah, I know, we know. It was just constantly like doing that, zooming out in the map. Okay.
It's like we played Spore. We remember. I remember watching this presentation that Will Wright did, where he's like, look, we're messing with like microbiology or whatever, and then zoom out. Oh, here's a planet. Zoom out. Here's space. And everyone be like, oh my god! And then the game was wank. So yeah, we should have known basically with No Man's Sky that maybe that wasn't going to be as cool as they were making out.
But they got it
for those of
eventually.
you that want to watch the Halo trailer that we mentioned, it's called Halo 3 Believe. So that was the trailer that I remember. I remember seeing that in the cinema, and going, "My people are being represented."
But wasn't it the Halo 2 trailer where it's basically implied we were going to Earth, and that didn't actually kind of?
Yeah, that was there was a massive
Halo
thing of
2?
that. Yeah,
I remember seeing like a really long gameplay demo where it was like you're in like a Earth city and you were like running around saving people. That was just never in the game, right?
Yeah, it was.
Was it?
Was it?
Okay.
It was like
I thought
at
like
the
right at
start,
the end,
wasn't it, when
you
you're
like
running through it. That was like the second level or whatever, wasn't it?
I remember seeing the video and being like, "Oh my god, it looks like Half-Life or something. This is incredible." And then
I mean, it wasn't that.
No.
But yeah, no, there was an area where you're running through. It was the E3. I think it was an E3 demonstration, and you're running through that sort of.
There was that whole thing at
bit.
E3 where they showed like there was like a vertical slice kind of thing, wasn't there, of the game? And then afterwards it came out that had just been made for E3, and then they were like, now we've got to go back and make the game.
Which is like pretty much everything, right?
Yeah.
Everything's kind of like that. But yeah, I think it was like the second level where you're in this. That was the one. that was the one where after that game soon came out, I got absolutely stoned off my face and played Halo 2, and one of my mates turned around to me and went, "David, you're just on the turret looking at the sky." And I was like,
I know what I'm doing.
And now I got the munchies. Yeah, that's what happened. Okay.
Poo in a tin. So as with PlayStation's announcement about stopping physical discs, I've seen people posting online that it's time to go back to Xbox. Please, Xbox, come and save us and take us back. We are sorry we left you, Xbox. My question is, this was obviously written in a few days ago. My question is, what's the craziest or biggest return to a person, company, or object you've done? I personally went back to the N64 and I'm squinting my eyes and trying to convince myself that the polygons are cute and timeless. My friend Wee in a Bag has gone back to a VW Golf car. Please, Xbox, take us back, but don't let us down. Again, this was a few days ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I never look back. That's what I've got.
Always moving
Just
forwards.
don't- Yeah, always. Everything that I've moved away from is shit now. So that's where my brain's at. I suspect, without wanting to sound like a dickhead here, Sean, I suspect that this is a you thing, isn't it? Where every now and then you go, actually, well, I mean, yeah, you buy tapes now, don't you?
To be fair, yeah. So I own a tape player in 2026. And I mean, yeah, because it's weird because, yeah, so like tape player, yes, but then like, started collecting vinyl. But for me, that's a new thing. Like I didn't have.
Yeah,
records
you're
as a
not
kid, but I did have
nostalgic
tapes,
for
so
vinyl,
yeah. I have wondered about like, maybe I should give MIDI disc another go.
Oh, I love
but
my media display.
I really like my mini. I've still got mine, and it still works.
Oh, wow.
But then, but mini disc is like it suffers because it's like the perfect halfway point, right? Like it's not fully 100% nostalgic, but then it's also nowhere near as convenient as
Yeah.
Cobos.
No, but the discs look fucking cool still.
The discs are fucking cool. That is the thing. I went
Did
to
you
a
hear
ta- I went
Matt's
to a tape
little
shop today.
giggle then at you saying co-buzz there?
Yeah, no.
Sure.
Yeah.
I just want to acknowledge the
Played
fact.
for and got, mate.
I just I just forgot that was a thing. Cool buzz.
Yeah, James. Anything
I
for
mean,
this?
I do occasionally. I mean, I do. See, today, not today. The other day, I went to. It was like in the place that I am now. There is a gaming shop.
Kent area.
Yeah, in the Kent area. And I was in there, and I was like looking at all of these, like all the old consoles and stuff that I used to have and everything. But there were ones that I never had, and so like, actually, no, I did have a Saturn once. That was the one I traded for the BB gun.
You're
It
starting to
wasn't
sound
very
like a
memorable,
rambly
was it,
old
the
man, James.
Yeah.
It was like, it didn't happen yesterday. It actually happened a couple of days ago. I was trying to think when it was going to happen. I had a Saturn, well, not a Saturn. What was it? I tried to think. Go on.
Yeah. So I saw a Saturn in there, and I was like, I felt like I wanted to buy that, and then buy some Saturn games because I just thought I haven't spent enough time with that console.
What's the going rate for a Saturn these days?
I don't know. I think it was about. I don't know. I've no idea how much it was because I didn't look at the price.
It'd be
but-
pricey.
Yeah, I'm sure it
I
would
bet it'd
be.
be minimum
Yeah.
of 80 quid. I bet.
Sean, he's just saying this in the hope that Ian Lee sends him a free one.
Oh,
Don't
God,
listen.
Paul.
No, they've all gone now.
Yeah,
They've all gone.
Yeah, I've got that.
Yeah.
Have you,
When I
have you
fir-
set it up, Matt?
No, but I have no.
What a waste, Ian. What a
No,
waste.
no,
I could have been playing Snake Rally, mate.
I bought the HDMI converter thing because it obviously wasn't going to plug into my TV, so that's ready to go. I just haven't plugged it in yet, but I will do.
Right,
I will
okay,
do.
lovely.
I will do.
Yeah, remember that, Ian.
When I first read this, I just went straight to the question and it said, "What's the craziest or biggest return to a person company?" And I was like, "Oh, biggest refund ever. What's my biggest refund?" That's what I thought it meant. It doesn't. My answer is I never leave anyone. So I'm not like, oh yeah, I'm not. Okay, sorry. Phrasing. What I meant was,
You know that episode of Friends where Chandler has been told that he can't make a joke of anyone for a whole, and he's having a meltdown? That's me. That's me right now.
okay, let's move on.
Move on.
I don't have an answer for that.
We're going to end the show with Claire Jones, who says, have any
Please
of
do.
you ever encountered something in a game that gave you a strong or even visceral reaction to it? I don't mean like ooh spiders or ooh gross type things. They're 10 a penny in games. No, I mean something that really hits you and stays with you. Something that you have to get past to proceed, but really struggle with it. Because of mouth washing, the game, I still get PTSD when I have to cut a birthday cake. If you know, you know. Right, I'm off to rub my PC against the side of a desk so I can get a grinding groove in it. Thanks, Jen.
Yes, Claire.
None of us played mouth washing, did we?
No, I want to play it.
I
Oh,
really
it was
want to play it.
amazing.
Yeah,
It's very
yeah, but
James and Matt, I would say. Yeah.
I'm surprised they
Dave,
haven't.
you're also allowed to play it.
Well, no,
obviously.
yeah, I know what you're saying because it's like kind of a scary game, but I hear it's not like actually that scary. It's more thriller than it is like
Yeah, it's unsettling rather
boo,
than...
boo. Like that's the stuff that I don't like. This is all like real sort of just dark.
Yeah.
They've announced another game, haven't they, recently? What's
Are they?
the
Cool.
Carcass Clad? Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that looks weird as well.
That's nice.
I haven't really got an answer to this. There's nothing really that I can refer back to video games in that way. I'm sure there must be, but there's
Yeah, I
nothing
haven't
that
inspired
really
us
sticks
for
out.
you. Nothing really.
See,
Is
that's
there?
the problem. I haven't had any kind of like massive reaction for ages to anything really. It's like it's not because it's like things aren't scary or whatever, like, because you do get like jump scares and stuff, but something which has really got the adrenaline going. The last time I can remember that happening, like really happening, I've talked about this before, was when I played the original Half-Life, and when you had the assault by the Marines, and at the time it really felt like they were actually intelligent and they were like hunting me down, and it was brilliant. It was so good, but then obviously you find out later it's all scripted, which was a shame. But
well, yes. It's a mix, isn't it? Like, yeah, there's some scripting going on, but yeah, combined with AI.
But especially like coming off of like playing stuff like like Doom and Quake and stuff like that, which always just felt like this is just stuff running at you, shooting it with the way that it felt like they were actually using tactics to like try and get me. That had a big impact. I remember.
I knew I had an answer somewhere. PT. It has moments where it's got the thing in the sink. It's got moments where it's got like the lady standing in the middle of the hallway and then jumping out at you.
Yeah.
All that stuff, it's for me, it's the radio where it's like where the radio's going, two people were found dead. Look behind you. Look behind you. And that makes me like proper. I hate that. I hate that. That's the biggest anything's ever got me like that, because it isn't something, as you say, it isn't a spider or a jump scare or anything like that. It's just this real haunting sound that seems like it's background and then talking directly to you is horrible. When the story is actually, it's reading out a story, right, and it says and then written on the wall. So you're not hearing what the story's about, and written on the wall was the words "Look behind you, look behind you," and but that's the bit you're picking up on. It was so fucking well done. That game, as much as I hated it, it did some fucking incredible things to really fuck you up. That was the good shit. Sorry,
go on, Matt.
I mean, I still get like genuine shivers even when I was playing like Resident Evil Requiem. Just like the first bit getting chased, when I had getting chased, but then there's that big thing chasing you, and I definitely had it in the previous one. But I remember in Resi Village, one of like the you're chased by a giant. I don't know, it's like a weird freaky baby thing, like the do you remember what it is, James? I think it's like one of the anyway, you basically get chased and you have to go down like a well and you're in pitch black, and I had genuine kind of like shivers or just like weird, just like chill down my body. But I still get that now with these kinds of horror games, but I'm pushing through them. But yeah, it's only really, I guess, horror games that really give me that kind of visceral reaction. Really, it's something else I'm like, oh, that's too far or too much. Not in a game I've experienced recently that I can really recall.
I have been worried about where the episode title's coming from, but Weird Freaky Baby Thing is probably the one we should be going for, isn't it?
But yeah, in the chat, yes, it is House Bueno Vinto. Yes, that's the one, Ben. Yeah, that would freak me out. Weird Freaky Baby Thing, done.
The black head crabs in Half-Life 2.
Yeah, any head crabs.
Well,
although
this is the thing, right? Like being an arachnophobe, you would think any of them would be enough to set me off. Weirdly, I'm all right with the normal. What was it? There was the normal ones, there's black ones, then what were there was the third kind. I can't remember what they were. Obviously not scary enough to stick in the memory, but yeah, the black ones, literally the sight of one. I've
and
never
the sound.
I've never experienced this before or since. But I would like freak out to the point that it felt like my back was having like pins like jammed in it. Right. Has anyone ever had that? Because nothing else has caused me to have. I never looked into it. I probably should. But yeah, just unbelievable like physical.
You never played Half-Life, Alex? Did you play Half-Life, Alex?
I played. Well, do you remember? I tried to stream it.
Right, yeah, of course, you tried,
crashing, but then I've upgraded since, so I should probably give it another.
Like the head crabs there in VR, where it's like on your face.
Actually on your face. Yeah.
No, thank you. No, thank you. Right, that's it for your questions. I mean, we should get to socials, but everything is crossed out except for two words: Prime Gaming. So Matt, take over with the socials.
Something I really want to stream, but it's meant to be really fucking hot again this week, and it's a VR game. So. Oh
really? What? Are you gonna tell us or?
It's called. Let me just double check. Yes, Unloop. Are you familiar with it?
No,
it's one of these ones where you
don't give a fuck about VR anymore.
Where it's like a 20 or 30 second time loop, and so you act out something, and then you start the loop again. But what you previously did is recorded and happens
Oh,
again.
brilliant.
But it includes your microphone. And I
Okay.
watched a video
that's
about it where
great.
the guy's just like he's sort of walking around, and there's these
Yes.
like, previous versions felt going, okay, now shoot me now, take this and shoot me.
Yeah, I've seen that
looks
too.
so
It's
good.
really funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do I do here? What do I
Yeah,
do here? Oh,
So I really want to do that, but yeah, I think it's probably going to be too hot this week. I've bought it, but maybe next week.
Okay, I really wish we had PCs to play that the Chameleon Mecha Chameleon game. That's all like
Yes.
all my Instagram and TikTok is at the moment. Like the videos of them playing Mech. You know the one, don't you, Dave? You must have seen it all over your
Yeah,
TikTok
because
too.
Dave was saying he wants us to stream it, but obviously it's PC
James PC only.
What's that one? What
The-
the?
The Mecha
Mecha
Chameleon, the
Chameleon.
painting game.
Oh,
where you-
yeah. That looks
Yeah.
amazing. I mean, I don't know how you bring that out for a games console because like the painting is such a
Yeah, the mouse will be
strong
crucial
part
to
of
that.
it,
but-
yeah.
Switch
Anyway,
2 could do it.
if let's do it. Anyway.
Yeah, you break your wrists. Yeah, technically Xbox could do it. You could plug a mouse into an Xbox. You wouldn't.
Who's doing that?
But-
Yeah,
no
one would. No one would.
absolutely. Yep.
Anyway, if you have an Amazon account and Twitch Prime, you have something called Twitch Prime Gaming. So you get a free subscription. Give any channel of your choice. Want to go to our channel when we're not streaming, or maybe we're streaming a pod on Monday nights at twitch.tv/tcgsco. If you want to support us with your free sub, and the website is tcgs.co for our amazing Discord community. Is all on there. Our socials, our store, Patreon. It's all on tcgs.co.
Thank you so much for living it. We'll be back next week. Hopefully, dreaming of the semi-finals. We will catch you then. Thanks for living it. We love you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Bye.
I always go last.